Hello, hello, welcome in. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Yep, okay, I think we're good. Welcome to the Common Room Classic here, obviously presented through Black Lake. I am OTP, the OTPHJ, joined here by Jim, Scourge, and Groovy Games.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Good morning.
So what we have here is that Tuanella C/S. Well, yeah, a little sneak peek here. There was going to be a title page before we dove into it. But obviously we're going to be kind of breaking down the rosters. Cicerus, if you can maybe scroll up to the very top, where we got the title page. Yeah, go all the way through this. Okay, that's okay. Just go to the very top roster. Should be the we'll start on the All Stars. Because yep, keep going up all the way to the All Stars teams. Yep, there you go. So I'm joined by the All Stars captains here. For those who might remember, the All Stars tournament we had with the four houses, Black Lake's first competitive tournament. So I was the captain of Gryffindor. Obviously, Scourge here was the captain of Hufflepuff. Jim of Ravenclaw. And he who must not be named, Slytherin, unfortunately wasn't able to finish the tournament. So poor Groovy here has been voluntold to join us. Thank you, Groovy.
You're welcome.
Apologies if it looks a little blurry there. But what we've gone ahead and done is we've broken down the rosters, both saying kind of who played in that tournament. But also we wanted to have some fun with it and do some projections of what the next tournament might look like. And then having a lot of fun with it at the bottom there, we have some of the old goats highlighting some of the past stars of the tournament. So the bold means they were a starting position. They were starters or they were stars in the tournament. The italics means that they were invited or they were supposed to be there, but they were unable to play. Or in some cases, they were on the roster but didn't get a game in. I want to preface this because all of those players, like in italics or maybe like towards the bottoms of the depth charts, those were the priority players that were all eligible for this tournament. So the Common Room Classic, right, is kind of like your All-Stars 2.0. Like we said, like Crafty said in the announcement there, it really was to celebrate these stars who are putting in the work, putting up the points in each common room day after day. And so that includes some of the stars of the houses that actually were on this roster, again at the bottom or in italics. And then there was an eligible player pool of basically, you know, the rest of the best players in the house that the captains got to pick from. So with that being said, Scourge, obviously you guys won the All-Stars. Hufflepuff is absolutely stacked top to bottom. Could you kind of bring us through the roster and talk about a little bit about what you saw during the tournament? Cicerus, you can stay up there on Hufflepuff.
Yeah. I'm Hufflepuff main out here. Yes. So starting with Rishi, if you don't know who Rishi is, well then you're kind of missing out because he is a top-rated seeker. Like he can catch on just about anybody. He can take on a 1v6 no problem. And then up next we have Yukio Takeda, arguably probably the best flex player in the game. I mean, there is nothing he can't do. A all-around good player. And then next up we have, well, me, a keeper main.
Of course I know. It's me.
Yeah, of course I know. We also have two backups, both Lena and Banthanor. RP to Banthanor. You know, doesn't play too often, but he makes a special appearance every once in a while. And Lena RK, probably my other half from EU, definitely a very good keeper. So always good to have her in the back pocket in case if I can't make it.
unfortunately, I don't think she was able to play in that tournament, right? So she was actually eligible for this tournament, believe it or not. Considering she hadn't played. Same with players you see here in italics like Tuanella,
Yeah.
Gertnet, right? So some of the stars we might see play today. Yukio Zai obviously there as other keeper options, and then we see Zin, right, aka Shade. I believe he was actually on your roster, right? Even though he is a Slytherin, so we're gonna move him back to the Slytherin All-Star roster.
Yes, yes. I think he actually did play in the All Stars game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
And
honestly, like I don't fault anyone. Slytherin had some issues in the last tournament, but it's going to be exciting when we show their team here shortly to see just the potential of what they could be in the next tournament.
hmm yes, and I'm actually surprised to not see Glass on the roster. Is he on the Slytherin one?
So Glass is a Slytherin as well. Yeah, we're gonna see him there. So I know you guys had obviously we see Dake there is in italics. He's your number one chaser, although he wasn't there. So you guys were able to
Yes.
just roll out Chad, Lukey, and Neve Katie there every game,
Yes.
I believe, right?
Yes. I think one game I did play Chaser because I let Zen take keeper, if I'm not
Mm,
mistaken.
mm.
Because I think it was me, Chad, Lucasus, and me. Yeah, I think I do remember that.
Okay. I see two analysis saying glasses Hufflepuff. So if I was mistaken, my apologies. My understanding was he was Slytherin, but obviously we can move him over if we need to. But yeah, just tons of stacked chasers there. I know Chad was kind of running things for you guys with that in that tournament with
hmm
Lukey, Katie, right? Lukey was missing his running mate Pingu, right? Again, all these players that were eligible and we're going to see today, like ADHD, Tuanella, Pingu. To keep things rolling, let's look at the bottom of the page here. We see the old goats. Crazy that you guys had Jolva in your house as well as
I
Rishi and
know.
Yukio. Like that
Yeah,
is pretty insane from a seeker perspective.
I know. It like Hufflepuff is just stacked from like every single row. Like every single row, we are just like packed out with just like in terms of skill. Like it is wild to think about.
Yeah, even Lil Wayne there, another solid seeker, although he had a short tenure there with
Yeah.
the Wing Guardians. Fatty
Yes.
Momati,
Yes.
shout out the Squires captain, who obviously they moved to the Reapers. One
Mhm.
thing that stands out to me though, man, like I don't know if you're a football fan, Scourge, if you know the show, right? Like the Last Chance U, but like this looks like Keeper University. Like Scourge, Lena, obviously
Oh.
Banff, but look at the old goats there. Perpendicular,
Yeah.
Tommy,
They're.
Time
Yeah.
Bomb, Andrewski, Pax Libertas, Ludo Strong.
mm,
Like that is crazy.
Yeah. We're just like a keeper house apparently. Yeah. No. This. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yukio. Oh yeah. Yukio is also a keeper. Oh man. Chad's also a backup keeper. Dake's actually learning to play keeper too.
Yeah,
And
he's been
Rishi
solid.
also used to be an old keeper. So yeah, we are stacked with
I see a
keepers in this
trend.
house.
I think it's because y'all are just so polite and nobody else wants to play keeper, so you just
Yeah, yeah.
volunteer yourself. I see what's going on
Yeah,
here.
yeah. That's how it happens.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll keep it moving. They're the current championship regime there, Hufflepuff. So we'll all try to see if we can top them in the next All Stars tournament. Cicerus, if you want to scroll down here to the next slide, I believe it's going to be Gryffindor. Yeah, so I can take this one. So we made it to the finals. Had a really good battle against Hufflepuff. Unfortunately, we weren't able to pull it off. We had Neo cooking on Seeker. Black Rose had a really good tournament, actually catching and helping us beat Ravenclaw in that series. Shout out to Rose. Polarity, again, he who must not be named. We now know that he's actually a Slytherin, as you can see there on the Chaser side of things. Polarity turned out to be Rajon. We did not know. But Rajon, of course, will be eligible for the Slytherin tournament. Obviously, we're talking about a house with great keepers, right? We see Count-Tails, Natty, in the old goat section down there, Jeffrey Stoner from the Knockout Kingdom. Obviously, eligible for this tournament was Meg Wood. Even Pumpkin Snatch has become a really good keeper. Obviously, flex player. So yeah, a lot of good keepers here. Chaser core is solid. I wish we still had Ilmage. Ilmage led us in the first ever House Cup, the Tournament of Houses, to the championship there, but we were able to get his former Wingardiums teammate Unknown Key. Cooking obviously with Saffron, my goat, my defensive goat. Warden, and then Veneer and Dynamite weren't able to play as much. I hope one day we can get Faster ready to join us. That would be huge, but pumped that we just got Livy Grace. I found out is actually a Gryffindor, so she'll be playing today as well. Last thing I'll say here, right? Because Scourge, we talked about Keeper U for Hufflepuff. Jim, I don't know if you want to chime in here, but a lot of good beaters in this house. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I'm seeing some fun names here. Obviously, you're always fun to play against their OTP. Saffron is he's a good beater. Even more annoying, he's a very good counter beater on Chaser. I know I was trying to throw out comms. I think it was just yesterday we were playing, or just the other day we were playing, and I was calling. I needed a Chaser to get on him because he was on me. Yeah, I mean, Dynamite. Yeah, lots of annoying names on this list.
Yeah, and I mean, like even in the old goat section, right? Like we have Winford. Hopefully
Donkey
he'll play
right
in the
there.
next one. Yeah, like Spicy Ketchup, right? He was a flex player, but really good beater. Sly Haddock from Phoenix, Island Boy, Don Quixoto, David Erb, Amari. Yeah, just like a ton of beaters in the Gryffindor house. Cicerus, we're good to move on. All right, and Jim, if you want to bring us through, again, kind of a mix of what your roster was and what it could be in the next tournament here.
Yeah, I had a lot of very strong names to pick from as I went through. I mean, just starting right at the very top there, I've got my boy T Rabo. One of the best seekers in the game. I would say the most calm seeker in the game. He's level-headed. We could be completely on our heels. It doesn't matter what situation we're in. Rabo is calm and cool, level-headed. Very, just go with the flow. So he was a very solid pickup for this. J Guard right up there with him. One of the best seekers in the game. Very a very strong bumper. Very very difficult to hit. So two very strong seekers right off the bat. Both of them also very strong beater flexes. I probably could have sat out this game. We had Denji, in the pocket as well. I believe he just, if I remember, I think he couldn't make it. I don't remember.
Yeah, he needs to be Slytherin on Black Lake, but yeah, he'll be Ravenclaw eligible. So 3 insane seekers. Again, to your point, they're all beaters or flex players for that point. Kind of looks like everyone on your team can beat, to be honest.
Yeah, we had a whole lot of beaters on this team. We've seen Compy Gamer swap over to it before, but obviously, primary here and keeper, we're a little short on those. We had, obviously I was beating. We had T Dreams out there on Chaser, but he was there for Seeker too if we needed it. Teddy Ready, known for being a defensive chaser. He's in my opinion, he's a lot better at being like a setup. Going up there, getting or setting up, somebody else, to score these nice short one-timers. He's a really strong playmaker, in my opinion. We got Goat Arena there. Again, in my opinion, one of the better flex players on the game. Very solid chaser, but throw her on beater. She's popped off on keeper. Yeah, and then we've got
a lot of flex players there. Shinobi, Melanor, Claire, Moldy Cheese.
Yeah, I'll say, Hufflepuff, they've got some of like the best, like role specialties in the game. Obviously they do have Yu-Gi-Oh, but I mean, they've got a lot of like the, sort of number ones in each role, but Ravenclaw is really big on very strong flex players. We are one of the teams that can pretty much all any and end up on a role that we're good with.
For sure. And I think giving us a run for our money there on the beater comment I made. I mean, obviously yourself, you talked about Oda, right? Like CompuGamer, Moldy Cheese, Melanor, all your seekers, everyone can beat on this team. But if you look at the old goats, right? Sylvanius, the other Phoenix beater, one of the best to ever play this game. And then Avada, Kadavra, Rex Blazer, right? Some really good beater names there. Shout out to my goat, Liquid Luck. Really solid roster. We can scroll down Cicerus to the fun part. Slytherin, which no, up one more. There we go. So we had to do some patchwork here because Slytherin was super shorthanded for this tournament. As you see, they had Shoni seeking. Midge was keeper. I think he seeked a little bit as well. They were missing most of their keepers, most of their chasers, but they did have Prof and Cardi cooking here. Groovy, you don't necessarily have to get into what happened in that tournament, but like talk to us about the full power, the full potential of this lineup if it were able to come together for the next All-Star tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I'm obviously not going to get into the details. I'll be a diplomat, but I think you alluded to it already. If you strip away the primary roles of the people on that team, there are quite a few flex players. So Shoni, Prophecy, Skinny, me a little bit, I guess. And it really just came down to on the day not having a mainline seeker. So Shoni said, "That's fine, I can seek." And he was kind of cooking. I'll give it to him. He was really strong, but obviously, not being in that primary position does bring a hit to the team. So me, Prophecy, Cardi were chasing, trying to keep up as much pressure as you can. But when you've got to pull away from that quaffle game and give extra attention to Seeker, that can be really difficult, especially against some of these other stacked teams. I mean, you've seen who we were playing against. So yeah, unfortunately, we weren't on our top line that day because we had a position diff. But we knew that going in, and we said we were happy to play. It's a shame we didn't get to play out all the games, but if any of the players on this roster do return, I don't doubt that we'll have a really, really strong lineup. I mean, there's so many names in there that you'd recognise. Tux, Dementor, Bees, Shade, when he makes his return to Slytherin. You've got people like Chin, the defensive goat. And then you've got some other people on there who have moved around a little bit. So Shade obviously did a brief stint in, I think, 2 of the other houses. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And then Libby dipped her toe in, and now she's gone to Gryffindor. You'll see her play today, which is really exciting. So there's been people in and out of all the houses when we've done these tournaments before. So I think now coming back to where people sat originally, it'll be interesting to see how those lineups change over time. But yeah, some super, super strong players. I mean, there's some great defensive players in there, especially. And I think that really played out for us in the second version of the All-Stars Cup when Slytherin took the win. The rostering was just really, really strong. I'm pretty sure that's when Flyrish was captain. So yeah, these rosters do change over time. Even though we are quite a small player base, we do try to keep it fresh and let people play when they haven't played before, make sure people get the play time. So it'll be interesting to see how the games go today, and then also what the next generation of the All-Star teams look like.
Seeing in chat here, yeah, 2-0, you're right. Banth was actually Hufflepuff, even though he played for Slytherin. Kind of same with Denji, right? Denji's actually Ravenclaw. So to your point, Groovy, there has been some movement, which is fine. All the casual Founders Cups, all that stuff, it's there to have fun with your friends. This stuff, I know it's a bit of a polarizing subject, but a lot of people believe that these competitive tournaments should be, let's see the best of the best in the actual houses and which house wins. And me as a Gryffindor, I absolutely hate looking at this lineup because I have to admit that it probably looks the best on paper, right up there, with Hufflepuff. I would pay good money to see a full Hufflepuff or Slytherin matchup. Not that, like Gryffindor or Ravenclaw obviously were stacked as well. But like if all these names show up, if you have like your proper Seekers, Tux, Dementor, Zin, Rajon, if he's can Seek or beat or whatever, Macoon and Flyrish, right? Insane beaters there. Insane beaters overall. Tux, Ashes of Amber, Rajon, Rishi, here's your shout out to Riverbra, the GOAT, who did play in this tournament. He was actually the starting beater, I believe. But if you go down to the old GOAT, like the retired GOATs there, just catch up again with Macoon there, like one of the best to ever play the game. Real Cypress in the same boat. Modest Logic, my GOAT from China. He was a great beater, obviously, as well as Chaser. Some Seekers there. Your Darker End. Oh yeah, and then more beaters there. Code Deliric and Rems. Rems was from the that French team that played for a little bit. So yeah, just a lot of raw potential, I think, in this lineup. I hope you guys can get it together for the next one.
Me too. It's funny actually what Scourge was saying about Hufflepuff pretty much being an all keeper house. It looks like Slytherin was the OG all beater house. I mean, I can see at least 8 on that list. So I think that's probably where a lot of that defensive power comes from. Beaters often are overlooked in this game, sadly. They do a lot of work sort of behind the scenes. I know you'll feel that, OT, on a personal level. But that it really does make a difference in those crucial moments in the games. And actually, I went back and I watched some of the Season 2 All-Star games, and the beater pressure really did clinch some of those games and take Slytherin through to the final and to the win. So it'll be interesting to see who comes back to add to that next roster, for sure.
Yeah, and like not only beaters, like obviously you have every position on lock here, but look at the chasers. Like you basically have Crazy Comms, Prof, Cardi, Skinny, Shoni, Chin, yourself, Groovy, you and Glass are both cooking on Chaser as well as Keeper. Malakosis and Livy were technically again part of this roster. I don't think played, so we're eligible again for founders. Really quickly before we get on to the games, maybe let's just show quickly the rosters of the teams that are about to play. So if we scroll down, Cicerus, just one slide, we're going to see the Slytherin roster for the Common Room Classic here. Now, Slytherin absolutely cooks in Black Lake points. You got their Captain Angel, the drill sergeant, right? Like she is cooking on beater, but also in whipping her team into shape. And I think they're the most active Black Lake team right now, so it's no surprise they put together an insane roster here. Again, some of the italics, the people that either weren't able to make it, that were eligible, like Lost Bobs, for example, would have been a big add here. Some of the subs that are standing by, ready to play, potentially. At the bottom there, like Dark Grid and Chaos Creature and stuff. But yeah, if you see the bolded, like the starting lineup here, just very solid chasers, yourself included, Groovy, with Beesman, one of the best keepers in the game, and Green Black was a big Seeker addition. Groovy, really quickly, any other comments on this roster? Anyone in particular you're excited to play with?
I guess just the people that I don't usually get the time to play with, if we're not on the same teams in L7, or I spend quite a lot of time in other servers playing, so like Q6, but yeah, Malakosis I don't see much anymore. Mew I've not played with very much recently. Singularity I used to when the game dropped. Sarah I don't think I've ever really played with, so I'm outside of commentating and casting today, I'm going to take this opportunity to spend time with people that I don't normally see, so that's what I'm most excited for.
That is also what I'm most excited for about this tournament is, blending people together, a mix of, like people with All-Stars, for example, experience, some, people getting their first Black Lake experience, some returning players that we don't see currently in L7 or we haven't seen in a while, right? Like you mentioned Sarah, I know she has returned to L7, but there's about like, I think 5 or 6 Kelpies players in this tournament. Amongst other kind of returning players. So we were definitely all really excited to see how the roster shook out here. If you could scroll down, please, Cicerus, we'll just take a quick look at Ravenclaw, and then we're going to jump right into Slytherin versus Ravenclaw. Jim, you want to walk us through this lineup here?
Yeah, so seeing some more fun names. Starting off, we got Michimo. Obviously, very, typically very also member of the community. One of the, very much a Seeker main. Been a Seeker as far as I know from the very beginning.
Yep.
It looks like she's captaining this time around. I see Skipper on there. Again, one of the, I'm seeing a little bit less, flex on this one compared to before. But yeah, I mean, Skipper very much a keeper main. Edirani, pretty strong beater there. Again, we've got Goat Arena. So if they're not feeling the beater pressure, throw her on there. Let's see, Moldy Cheese, Melanor, a couple more chases there. I'm really excited, especially with this being the common room stars, seeing Melanor, Odarina there, those two were very much putting in the work on getting us our points.
Yep.
They'd carry my, my drunk self out in those early AM games where I just refused. I would not post. But they'd always be posting for me. We'd meet up in some random game, and I'd get a ping and have completely forgotten that we're supposed to be posting them. So thank you to you two for carrying me and making my points count. But yeah,
Sweats, man.
this will be a fun lineup. Dude,
We
it
have
was
PTSD from that Black Lake season. Like Gryffindor set the record, first team to beat 1,000 points, and then we chill for a couple days, and then we see that Mel and Oda have all nighted, and you guys have like 2,000 points. Sick.
I've been up to like 4 or 5 a.m. with them. Well, with Melanor and a few others farming up points. It is it is a chore.
Yeah, it's crazy. But solid chasers to your point. Cheese is kind of the one I think really flexible player here who can do a bit of everything.
Yep, he's our big flex here.
Vin as well. Like, we've been tracking stats for L7. I'm excited to share the halfway point, the stats update. You'll be surprised to see how high Vin is in scoring in the World Cup. So he's come a long way. A former teammate of mine with the Revenants, obviously, cooked on the Hogs with Pingu, and it's kind of paying off for him in the World Cup. And you got Oof, right, who's a returning player to the Hogs, and Shucks is a cool name, I think, to see here. He was a really good flex player back in the day, so nice to see him. Lego, yeah, it's been a while. Right, like Lego, like there's a bunch of other solid chasers here. I know Lego was supposed to be on the All-Stars. He's supposed to be playing today. I'm not sure if he's able to make it. But yeah, without further ado, we're getting to 12:45 EST here. So let's pause on this. After this series, we'll come back and we'll break down Hufflepuff and Gryffindor and what we're going to see there. But I apologize. I know I talk way too much. Let's get to the action. Okay, we are back, finally. 50-40 here towards the end of the game. We got Malakosis's point of view. It's not perfect, but it's not complete. Dog, you know what. So we'll work with it.
Looks like we're at the end of the game, 50-40 in favor of the Slytherin.
We're in 60-40.
60-40.
Yeah,
but
Thomas
there's
got
42 seconds left.
Thomas
still in the
approaching that snitch. Yeah, he is about to catch this. They need to go all hands on deck here on Tama as he comes around the red hoops there.
Actually,
big score.
they got
Insurance.
Big snitch insurance. Still, tied game. 26 seconds left. It's going to come down most likely to Quaffle game. Shin taking it up. And it looks like Slytherin might actually have the advantage.
Yeah,
because
here's
it looks
Malik.
like they have.
He flips it up to Chin for the score. What a play there by Malakosis. Game-winning goal. Chintasu calls game, and Slytherin takes the first series 2-0 over Ravenclaw. Well, it was a bit painful to get going here, but thanks everyone for bearing with us. Thanks for your patience. The Discord streams obviously work way better, so down with the VOD Ninja. Should be a better viewing experience here going forward. Hopefully teams are remembering to get screenshots here. But yeah, congratulations to Angel and her team, their Slytherin, taking the first series. Thanks, J Dog here, pulling up the our interactive bracket here. And as we see, we're going to be going with the next game, which is going to be Gryffindor versus Hufflepuff.
I'm sure that's a highly anticipated game. If I'm not mistaken, it was Gryffindor versus Hufflepuffs in the finals. OTP, can you confirm that? Well then, let's see. Who was on the Gryffindor's roster today? Looks like King Disc, Laggy, Veneer, Warden, Harry Pothead, and Livy. And let's see who we have on Hufflepuff side. We have Rosati, Zioni, Frank, Katie, Passa, Tuo, and King Kuma. Oh, and I just saw ADH Decent just join, so this certainly can be a match. All right. Let's see. Yes, go Hufflepuffs, Yuki. Let's go. Team representation. We love it. We love to see it. Yes. Yes. Some more perspectives would be nice, Tama. Maybe. Ooh, Tama, actually, since you're here, maybe you can let Ravenclaws know they can start streaming to Discord.
Hey, Scourge, I'm back. My mic just died on
Oh.
me there.
Yeah. Yes. Good.
Obviously,
Good. Thank you,
heard
Tama.
it was Gryffindor Hufflepuff in the All-Star Finals. Please don't remind me of what happened there.
Oh. Yeah. Trying to
No,
think
it
if I
was an
was
awesome
playing
matchup.
Chaser. Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember if I was playing Chaser in that game or if I was playing Keeper. If I'm not mistaken, I think I was playing Chaser.
Yeah, you definitely chased a little bit against us. I remember that.
Yes.
Just like what a battle though, going the full distance, I believe, right? We went to the final game.
Yes.
It
Yes.
kind of had the feeling a little bit of like some of, the obviously the big L7 games of the past, but also like the big Q6 finals, where we see just a, collection of players that you wouldn't normally see together. Goats and on all positions, right? Between all the houses, like Ravenclaw played both of our houses really, really strongly. Did they beat you guys in a series, I believe, before the finals?
Ravenclaw, I think we did. I think that was the one and only time we did lose was to Ravenclaw.
So it worked out a bit
I'm
funny where Ravenclaw beat you guys. We beat Ravenclaw, but then you guys beat us in the finals. I do see on the screen here we have the rosters. Maybe we can go through them quickly before the game starts.
Yes.
So this is the Gryffindor Common Room Stars, led by Disc Jockey. Him and Cleet, Cleet and Laggy as well were involved in this. Obviously, Common Room Stars with Gryffindor. Cleet and Sitting Duck both were unable to make it, unfortunately, as well as Meg Wood. But we do see Pumpkin in as keeper. Two good seekers there. Laggy beating with Oscos, making his return to Quidditch. And then just a solid lineup. Warden, we've seen in past Founders Cups, not the All Star. Dynamite, Veneer, another Kelpies player. And then pumped to see Livy Grace come to the Gryffindor side. And then, of course, it's Harry, Harry Pothead, aka and Daddy Hog. I won't say his full name here. And then Anna Wong and Khalil Red, too, part of the Obscurus family there. So definitely a complete lineup here.
If we can move on down to the Hufflepuff roster. Right. So, we got Frank, we got Tuo, we got Zai, Passa, ADH decent. I saw Katie, and I also saw King Kuma in the VC. So there is a few that weren't able to make it. I didn't see any. I didn't see Adruski. I didn't see Katie Cowboy. I didn't see Gert, Warbeard, or Bink.
Yeah, the ones
But
in italics there were either the ones that couldn't make it or they were subs. Like I know
yeah,
it's Luna, right? We all know she's a really strong up and coming keeper all week long. My
Mhm.
understanding she was to be starting keeper here. Obviously, we know thankfully Zayuni and Pasawan are both solid keepers as well as other roles, so they can mix in. Yeah, and Katie, she was the captain with Zayuni. I thought she wasn't gonna be able to make it. I think she can play now, but regardless, with 2-0 past the Pingu, right, like a star-studded chaser lineup, and then you guys bringing back Cowboy Jackman, who just returned to L7 with Nimbus, and King Kuma, yet again another Kelpies player returning, and then along with it's Rosati, the trick shot specialist, used to play a lot of solo queue back in the day, and we've seen him back on Q6, which is great to see.
yes, we love to see returning players. Always, always nostalgic to see all those old goats coming on back, just to play with them one more time, even if. Let's see. I think they said they were queuing, so we should have a game going on here shortly.
Cicerus, we'll let us
Yep.
know when we're good to switch back if we got some game point of views starting up.
And we have
Yeah,
a game.
Disc on keeper. Okay, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Yes.
Maybe weekend is late. Big steal by Livy as she does, flipping it up to It's Harry. Big save by and we see Pasawan as the keeper for the Hufflepuff side.
Oh.
2-0 and Veneer making some steals back and forth. We see a super tight snitch race here.
Yes, between Frunk and Dark Shadow Fox. Oh, just getting knocked out of play caller with Rogue Bludger. You hate to see that happen, but those idle bludgers in front of keeper goalpost don't mess around.
Veneer with the dodge, left hoop, saved by Passa, flips it up to Rosati. Let's get a good point of view of Rosati coming in on disc, maybe a trick shot. Nope, he flips it to Zai, who's on chaser.
It looks like he kicked
there.
that. Yeah, it looked like he kicked that quaffle actually on my screen.
Oh, okay.
And then it ended up passing to Zai still. Interesting.
Yeah,
I'd actually love
getting
to.
the ball back there.
I'd actually love to see that clip from Zai's POV. Zai, if you're listening, could you clip it for me?
Uh-oh,
Love
he's
to
gonna
see it
end up
back.
on your next video there, Scourge.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
Dude, I
interesting.
forgot to bring that up earlier, but that's probably the greatest thing I've seen yet on QC to date.
Oh, my video.
If
Yeah,
anyone's
I
not
definitely
yet
did.
seen Scourge's video, please try to find it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm sure you can find it in any of the content promotions. And if not, you could always shoot me with a DM. I'll send it to you. Definitely put a lot of time and effort into that video, so definitely I think it's worth a watch. But unfortunately, oh, Frank with a catch. Hufflepuff's leading 60-0.
Yes, Citrus, maybe we could switch back to the other POV. Disc seems to be cutting in and out a little bit here.
Yes.
But yeah, what a Strong performance by Hufflepuff, picking up where the All-Stars left off.
Yeah.
Good to see ADH Decent back. Obviously cooking on the beater role there. We saw a big snitch lead there for Franck. Good to see him back. Kind of a battle of the bird seekers there, right? Franck and Dark Shadow Fox, Disc, all part of the Nighthawks family there.
Yep.
Decent with another kill, man. He is not rusty whatsoever.
Yeah. He definitely shook that rust off like it was nothing. And 2-0 with a goal, 70-0. This is looking like a tough comeback game for the Gryffindors. This kicking it out to Livy. Livy passing it to Pothead. And Zai with the steal. Passing it up to Rosati. Rosati looking to take it in by himself. And Veneer with the steal. Looked like Veneer was trying to pass it back to keeper to boot it out, but ended up not working out as intended.
Yeah. Harry flips to Livy, and Livy, congrats on your first goal as a
Puts in a
Gryffindor
goal.
there.
Let's go. 10-70.
Dark Shadow is low, and Decent capitalizes. Guy's absolutely locked in right now.
45 seconds. Snitch race closing in favor of Hufflepuffs, and oh, I don't know if that was a shot attempt or trying to pass back towards keeper, but that looks pretty close to the goal. Ooh, pass it with a stop.
Yeah,
And Franck
secures
with a
it there.
catch. 10 to 100.
Under 10, that's a statement game. That's big for the point differential, right? Which could come into play with tiebreaker. Impressive performance, in particular by Franck and Decent there, kind of dominating that snitch game. Speaking from Gryffindor's perspective, definitely, going to need to see some rotation. I hope Pumpkin is there. She's their keeper main. If she can go in, maybe mix up the Seeker, give Disc a shot there on Seeker, see what he can do, right? You're flying behind a really solid beater with Laggy. I don't know if Warden is there. If Warden can come in, really good tackler, he can kind of maybe help up the Seeker pressure, or at least alleviate some of that pressure with, as a big scoring threat. The Chasers did well there. It's some good tackles, some nice plays by Veneer and Livy in particular, and Harry. Obviously, they did get on the board, but they're going to need either a couple more scores or a couple more stops in addition with getting one of those snitches if they want to beat this stacked Hufflepuff team.
Yes, indeed. The bleeding's got to stop somewhere. Because the first half was a 60-0 lead by the end of the snitch, and that's not a very good position you want to be in. So probably starting off strong with a quapple score or two, just in case if you don't get snitch. But yes. Going into game 2. Thinking Hufflepuffs are probably chilling right now, thinking we got this. We just came off of a 1,000 game lead. As for the Gryffindors, they're definitely gonna have to change something up.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see. I mean, there's obviously a lot of rotation possibilities for all houses here. They have the deep 10-man rosters, in addition to a couple subs, I believe, are kind of standing on by. The rule was that if they're on the 10-man roster, they do have to get into a game. The subs are kind of optional, if they want to get more people involved for a game. I know Oskos is there, right? Like he could come in if Laggy needed a break, or if he had trouble neutralizing Decent there, who was kind of cooking. I definitely don't think Laggy's the problem. I think it's just overall team pressure. with a couple more
Yes.
scores. I'd love to see Warden get in there. Like I said, I think things can change. But Scourge, it's
Mhm.
interesting with Hufflepuff, right? I mean, we saw how deep, how stacked your guys' All Stars roster was.
Mhm.
So I guess it's kind of no surprise that there was a lot of still really good eligible players for this tournament, right? It kind of spills over.
Yeah. Yeah. We weren't able to use up all of the talent for the All Stars game, so some of it was able to come here to this tournament over here. So, and we were able to see some of that star power shine in this game, in the game that was recently just played. So yes.
For sure. Like, it's no knock to your three chasers there, Chad, Lukey, and Katie. Great
Mhm.
chasers. They played super well for you guys. That's just a good cohesive group, right? And you did a good job coaching them in terms of, call outs and seeker pressure and just how to make sure you secure it with Rishi, Yukio, Airberry, right? Your kind of stars locking it down. But man, imagine you guys had Tuanella, Pasawan,
Yeah.
Pingu,
Yeah.
right? A
Oh
lot of
yes.
star power, like Lena, Bantanor, they weren't even there. Luna, um, Gertnit, right? He's not playing today. He was another option. Thank
Mhm.
God Gertnit and Lena weren't available today. Like, this is basically like another All Stars roster here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
80
my
tough.
gosh. Oh yeah, Katie also could have shown up. Oh my gosh, yeah, we would have had just our second all-star lineup in this tournament. Oh man, that would have been
Yeah.
that would have been interesting to see.
Well, it's crazy because some of those chasers, and then the beaters, decent, Katie, the seeker, Frank, like they could probably be on an all stars team in any other house. Maybe
Mhm.
if you're Frank, you can't get in over, Rishi or Yukio. That's understandable. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, just it's funny because Hufflepuff has the least amount of, in terms of quantity, the least on Black Lake. Like we had to find some players that maybe weren't necessarily in Black Lake, to kind of bring them in to help fill out these teams. So it's definitely a quality over quantity there with Hufflepuff.
Yes. Yes. All right, going into game two.
Same lineup here for Gryffindor. Okay, interesting.
Yep,
Might be a case
Hufflepuff
of
taking possession. Also was snitch find. Or no, my bad. Gryffindor was snitch find, it looks like. And we saw a goal attempt from Hufflepuff, not getting it in. Was already looking to sneak in the top right hand corner. Oh, but we have Veneer with the steal. Veneer, oh, holding one timer, but Passa putting a stop to it. Looks like a loose quaffle. Rosati looking to put it in.
nice pick by Disc.
And yes. Oh, Tuanella with the grab though.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see why there was no rotation. I do see Warden in the VC there. I do have word that Pumpkin is MIA right now. That's going to be pretty crucial for Gryffindor to get their, who is supposed to be their starting keeper back. Nice
Yeah.
take there by
From
Zai.
Zai. Yes. With the lock on.
Yeah, grab back by Veneer though. Let's see if Veneer can get some magic happening. Um, Decent knocks down. It's Harry. Super close snitch race here. So Dark Shadow and Laggy are doing a much better job here to start this game.
Hmm. Yeah, it looks like this go around Quaffle game is looking to be a stalemate. So looks like Gryffindor definitely took that first game into account. And oh, we see it's Pothead with the score, first score of the game. So 10-0 for Gryffindor is taking the lead. But looks like Snitch Race is coming down to the wire with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left. Looks like it's in favor of Hufflepuff, just slightly. But still, anything can happen, especially at the end of a Snitch Race. Looks like everyone's starting to dogpile on it. And
Big
it
tackle looks like by Laggy.
Oh, and Laggy with the kill on Frank.
And she gets him. Laggy.
And
That
Dark
is
Shadow
massive.
Frost with a catch. Yes, indeed. 40-0 in favor of Gryffindor. It's still a game. Just one quaffle goal and one snitch cash, and Hufflepuff's back in it. Looks like pass to Livy, looking to put it in. Doesn't look like she gets it. Zai driving it up the field. Looking to pass to Rosati. Rosati passing it back. Oh, looks like Disc actually got the kick on it. Rosati stealing it back. And Rosati getting 10 points for Hufflepuff.
Yeah, nice little dodge to the right hoop there by Rosati. I know kind of lost frames for a second there, but that was a really nice goal by him.
Yes.
Harry tries and is stopped by Passa there. Flips it back up to Rosati. Decent with a big kill there on Laggy. Snitches are quite even, I would say. Disc is going for those kicks. It's a loose ball on the ground, and he's able to hero that out. Veneer going up high, he swoops back down low, and Pasta is not fooled. Laggy getting decent back there. That's a big kill. Rosati, that was stolen.
Looking to steal it back, but it looks like they're just doing a bunch of pass plays, keeping it out of the Hufflepuff's possession.
Yeah, they might just be holding, buying time. Snitch is getting close here. Looks like Frank's taking the lead a little bit.
Looks like Pessa actually got a hero kickoff. Because I saw Dark Shadow Facts go down.
Oh, and he goes down from that. Yeah, I don't know if that was a loose ball off a Gryffindor shot, and Pasta was able to hero kick.
Yeah. Zai missed the first shot, but looking to redeem himself. Didn't seem to get it in. 40-50 with 40 seconds left in favor of Gryffindor. Hufflepuff's definitely looking to under pressure here with what little time they have left.
Rosati ball stolen by Livy. Can she put it in the coffin? And she does. Livy Grace. Welcome to Gryffindor. She has been the chaser star so far for Gryffindor. And they're going to be able to even up this series. As Decent says, no you don't. And Pasa with another kill on Dark Shadow, but too little too late. We're going to get a game 3 here. This is an awesome series.
Yes, yes indeed.
Bien joué to all of our competitors today. Saying bien joué to all of our competitors today.
Okay, so flipping back over, I'm just taking a look at the VCs, seeing who showed up here. I do see Katie in there, and Katie. I know she was a bit of a question mark, but we might see her mix back in for Chaser, maybe over Zayuni, although he played well. Zayuni could also keep. We could see Pasa chasing. What do you think they need to do here, Scourge, to respond?
I think they definitely need to just step up their quaffle games. As you saw, it was only down to 10 points at the end, which puts a lot of pressure on, you know, the whole team to really drive it, and it really does make or break, especially when the other team realizes, hey, we just got to play for time, we just got to relax, we just got to play defensively. So definitely, they gotta start off strong with their quaffle game, just to like be able to relax a little towards the end of the game, because you don't need a bunch of stress towards the end. So definitely strong, like come out swinging on quaffle game, and the rest should take care of itself.
Yeah, don't see if we want to maybe scroll down to the Gryffindor there, Cicerus. I don't see Pumpkin in the VC. So a bit of a concern there for Gryffindor. As you see, she is a starting keeper. No Meg Wood, no Natty was also actually eligible for this event. We tried to get her back to no avail, but Disc is doing a good job holding down the fort, but he has really come a long way on the seeker position. No knock against Dark Shadow Fox at all, but I think it would be great. Even if just to have the option to have Pumpkin keep, Disc seek. You do have Oscars there as a beater option if need be. I do see Warden in the VC, so again, quite surprised to see him not come in there game 2. Now, the call worked out, right? The Chasers played super well together there. Looks like Warden is back in. Warden, Veneer, and Livy is the Chaser core, and Neve Katie is in for Zai. So basically everything we predicted there.
It looks like Rosati was starting possession, looking to take it in. Churro coming with assist. Looks like he was trying to pass, but ended up not connecting. Rosati with the rebound though. Looking at ooh.
Nice
Thinking he was
tackle
looking
there.
for the pass.
Veneer representing the Kelpies here, showing he's still got it. I know King Kuma was supposed to be on Hufflepuff as well. Nice goal there. Nice move by Veneer.
Drives it all the way down the field to put in 10 points. 10-0 in favor of Gryffindor.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see if King Kuma shows up and we see a Kelpies versus Kelpies battle here.
Yeah. Oh. Rosati looking to pass it out, but end up not connecting.
Flips it up to Neve. And Katie with the score, 10-10.
Alright, tied game now. It looks like there's also a tied on, looks like towards Seeker game. Disc having a little bit of trouble trying to kick it out towards his team. Passer with the stop. Rosati passing it up to Katie. Livy driving it down the field. Can she put it in? No, pass it with a stop. Veneer with the grab, looking to pass it out towards Warden. Snitch race nearing its end. 4 minutes 20 seconds.
Super close snitch race here.
Yes.
I think the Puffs have a slight advantage. Hard to
Yes.
tell. No, look, there might have been a tackle or something.
Yeah, there might
Looks
have been
like
a
Dark
bump right
Shadow
there.
is
Katie
just
putting
about
it in.
nope. And Dark Shadow loses a bit of meter, and Franck comes through. Nicely timed
10:50.
score and catch. Yep, 40-point difference here.
Still a
Beautiful
game
kickoff
though.
by Veneer. Almost had it there. That got swooped up, I believe, by Tuanella. Flipped it up to Katie. Down to Rosati. A nice one-timer there. Just misses.
Warden looking to pass it up towards Katie. Or sorry, Livy. But Katie with a steal. Passes up to Rosati. Decent POV, looking to take out Laggy, and 2-0 with the score. 60-10. Dark Shadow Fox on 1 HP. Decent's looking to close out the kill. Oh, doesn't seem he's
Almost.
getting it. Yeah, and Dark Shadow Fox with the regen.
It's nice to see Decent back. Have had a lot of battles with him in Q6. You know, the great beater shortage these days. So we definitely need more beater options. And you know, obviously doesn't seem to have lost a step really here. He is hounding Dark Shadow Fox, flips in a slow bludger. Nice patience there, although Dark
and
does
with
get
the
kicked
limb.
and
Oh,
tackled.
but with Veneer with the score.
Yeah, they're gonna need one more of those, and they're gonna need to come back on the snitch race here. So definitely gonna be a tough task for Gryffindor. Franck is starting to build up that meter. They need to go all hands on deck on him, while still getting a score. It's really tough to balance both aspects of the game in this position.
Yes. Looks like Decent's looking to put more pressure on Quaffle game to make sure that they can't come back.
Yep, they want that insurance there.
Okay, Laggy
Flipping over to
POV.
Laggy. Yeah, let's see how Laggy
Trying to get
can.
a tackle on Franck. But she's also trying to juggle not being pressured by Decent.
Yeah, it's really hard as a beater here. You got to manage all aspects. You got to, you know, look over. Maybe you can flip a quick bludger at a chaser. You know, if you need to force a fumble in there, you need to deal with obviously the opposing beater. But first and foremost, you need hits on Seeker. Looks like they're doing a good job here overall, pressuring Franck. And Dark Shadows come back a little bit on meter here. There's Warden.
Warden.
Yeah, one of his patented low drift shots there. Past the one, comes out and squeezes him there. Very tight snitch game. I think there was a bump, possibly a tackle there. Dark Shadow has the lead. Beautiful comeback by Gryffindor there. You still need the score though. They could get it here. They are charging.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, they definitely...
Another save.
Gap on Snitch Race isn't so far, but still Hufflepuff's with the lead.
No, it is Gryffindor with the lead. Gryffindor is red. Yeah. Dark Shadow's about to catch.
Oh, yes.
Veneer is going up here. Can they time a catch and score here? Dark Shadow needs to hold off, wait for them to get that ball in the hoop if possible.
But
and
Franck with the catch, closing out the
gets the
game,
last
90-20 with 8 seconds. Hufflepuff's taking the series.
That was an incredible series. Although the score doesn't show it, particularly in games 1 and 3, that was super close, down to the wire, close snitch races. Honestly, well done by both teams there. That was what we want to see.
Yes, we love We love to see them. Those close games. Those are the most exciting games to watch.
See the flexibility of both teams. Clearly missing some players on the roster. Some people, I guess, are sleeping in a little bit today.
Yes.
But yeah, a lot of versatility in this tournament here.
Yes, indeed. Next game. Not sure who's up this one. Looks like we're going to be doing Slytherin versus Hufflepuff. Let's see. Doesn't look like we have too many Slytherin POVs. Oh, never mind. We just got a second POV. Hopefully we could get, at least 3 or 4.
Okay. Scourge, are you still with us here?
I will have to be heading out now.
Yes. Good luck in your matchup. The Azkabangers, right? You guys are playing
Yes.
here. Super shortly. Gonna be a very exciting match versus Thin Ice. Lots of great Quidditch today. Huge L7 match coming up in addition to this tournament. Maybe Scourge, if you could have your captains ping us, we'll get teams to hold off on queuing while you guys are queuing in. But yeah, with that, thanks for joining me today. Maybe, feel free to come back afterwards if you'd like. But good luck, man.
Yep. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
We're just setting up, I believe, yeah, it's Slytherin against Hufflepuff. So both winners should be super exciting. Cicerus, maybe if you want to scroll back up to the Slytherin roster. I know in their series we didn't necessarily get a great look at them due to technical difficulties. So we'll leave this on the screen and we'll just take a really short break here and we'll be back soon with Slytherin and Ravenclaw. Or Hufflepuff, sorry. Okay, welcome back. So big goal there. We see Darkrit Nighthawk of the Nimbus Nighthawks mixing in here. He was a sub available to play in this tournament. We see more rotation with Olympus Mew on Seeker now over Green Black. Olympus, the captain of the Oakshaft Owls. Flipping it down to Tuanella. Nice save down there by Beesman. Speaking of the L7 stats earlier, it's quite shocking the amount of steals that Beesman gets per game. Like, he might not have a lot of actual saves, but that's because he's going up. There's obviously a lot of talk about spam diving keepers in today's game, but he is just, in my opinion, the best at suffocating those chasers and going up and grabbing that quaffle there. Tuanella flipped over and eating my words here as a commentator, Beesman hanging back and saving the quaffle there. So really nice performance by him so far after a couple scores by Slytherin. The snitch lead is quite big by the Hufflepuff. Looks like Zayuni, I believe that was an elimination. No, not an elimination, sorry, but definitely Olympus took a couple hits there, lost some meter. Big score. That's huge for insurance. It looks like unless something changes here quickly, they're going to be tying. Again, commentator's curse. It is a real thing as Angel takes down Franck. Getting those snitch meters a bit more even, but another big score by Chintasu. She is cooking right now. And it is Zayuni who was playing Chaser earlier, He is between the hoops there on keeper. Katie bringing it up, swooping around, finding, nope, faking the pass, going in for the top hoop. Beesman is absolutely locked in. Still no catch yet by Franck. He's super close. Can Katie squeeze in a quick goal before that happens? It gets knocked away, and Beesman grabs it there. Slytherin doing a good job keeping the pressure on the Seeker. Angel goes down there by Decent. That might allow Franck to finally secure here. Although Olympus Mew is right there as well. This is going to be super close. And we do see Franck finally being able to bring down the snitch there. Yeah, we see a conflicted Wooney in chat there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this Hufflepuff Slytherin romance. You guys, I guess, like to swap back and forth. No, I'm here for it. Definitely a few teams that, you know, I'm excited about and cheering for in this tournament. You know, in addition to my house. So 30-40, we got a super close match. Close snitch races. Tuanella getting Hufflepuff on the board with their first score. Finally getting past Beesman. Tie game, 40-40. Chintasu coming down and putting the ball in the hoop. 50-40. Big punch there by Decent. He is just hounding the Seeker here. Franck doing a good job. Sorry, Olympus Mew doing a good job, staying wiggly. I wonder how warmed up Mew is on the Seeker position. We've actually seen him, commentator curse. We've seen him convert to the keeper role. The Owls losing their past season's keeper, Shippotail. So good on Owl to step up there. Or on Olympus to step up there for the Owls. Angel with the nice takedown there. Katie comes in, back and forth. Beautiful tracking there by Beesman. Dark Rit Nighthawk with the quaffle. Not sure if that was a kick out by Zayuni or a miss, but Chintasu picks it up off the pitch and puts it in. 60-40. Snitch race is getting a bit closer here. We do see Franck with the big lead again, but Slytherin was able to come back last time. They're also a score away from insurance, which is something to keep an eye on as well. If Slytherin can get the stop here. As Tuanella dives in, Beesman, just there he goes, racking up those steel medals. He's had a lot of those this year, where you need 3 steals to get that bronze medal. And there's Franck securing the catch. Now there's still time here, 30 seconds. We'll see if Slytherin can put one in. Rosati, massive steal there. That is huge. He just needs to hold possession. Flips it up to Katie. Katie wants that insurance. She cannot get around Bees. They have 10 seconds. This is going to be right down to the wire there. Can Chin grab it? No, it is flipped back. Massive game 1 win there by Hufflepuff. As we predicted, that was super close, right down to the wire. Yeah, Yuki, to your question, as J-Dog mentioned, it's going to be a round robin, best 2 of 3 series. Every house plays each other once, and then that goes on to the finals, which is going to be best of 5. J-Dog also mentioned that I'm super lonely here in the caster's booth. Saffron should be joining me at some point, but if anyone else welcome all casters. If anyone else wants to hop in and commentate a little bit, please shoot us a message. Super exciting match there. Crazy series. We saw with Slytherin, Mew was in a Seeker, so some changes there. Dark Rit mixing in one of their subs to chase. Haven't seen, I don't believe, Singularity or Sarah yet. I see Singularity in VC. I imagine she'll be coming in soon. Probably back to Green Black. We saw him catch a few snitches and win in the first series there against Ravenclaw. So that's going to be huge if they can secure the snitch. You know, they did a really good job coming back on that first snitch. Franck had a huge lead. Him and Decent are just locked in together right now. So Slytherin either has to up the pressure or just go all out on that chaser game. They were very close to Seeker diffing there. Remnants of Team Ireland. Shout out, right? They got obviously the green colors there in Harry Potter lore, right? Ireland with the incredible chaser game, being able to diff a 150-point snitch, a little bit harder than a 60-point double snitch. But yeah, I definitely think with Green Black coming in, no knock to Mew, he did really well there. Probably a little bit rusty on the Seeker position. But I have confidence that Green Black and Angel can definitely get one of these snitches. Yeah, Beesman, that first snitch was very close. Commenting, of course, there is some desync, some games, part of the game, fortunately. But I think all things considered, from what we've been able to see, it's looked quite decent. I know in our L7 match yesterday, the servers were surprisingly really, really good. Hopefully that keeps up. You know, wasn't sure what to expect today. We know how the game can get when there's a lot of people online, right? We've got a lot of returning players that Quidditch hasn't seen in a while. In this tournament, there's L7 going on, so definitely a busy weekend here. Yeah, if you can scroll down just a little bit further to the Hufflepuff there. Thank you. So we saw some changes with the Hufflepuff. Zayuni into keeper there, the projected starting keeper over Passawan. They might go back to Passa. Passa was kind of a brick wall. Someone's going to have to stop Chintasu and Groovy, and whether it's Dark Red or Sarah, Crafty Cat, Singularity, right? Like just a lot of good chasers on the Slytherin team. So I'm not sure if we'll see Zai, Passa. I'm certain Franck's going to stay in, although teams are encouraged to do at least one rotation on a specialty role. We might see Zai, possibly Tuanella, mix in as Seeker there. No Aina. She was not available today, although we did see her actually Seek for Hufflepuff in a previous Founders Cup there. And there we go. We're underway, and you know, it's a Beesman steal. So picking up where they left off, we see Malacosis as a backup beater mixing in first Slytherin, so that's interesting to see. Olympus Mew still seeking, so they were happy with his comeback there on the first snitch. Unless Green Black needs a bit of a break, they decided to roll with it. Dark Red is still in there as well, so not a whole lot of rotation as group puts in a score. We see some bloody hell. Our favorite thing in QC. Just on Q2-0, talking about the unpredictability of this game. we never even know if we're actually going to get a full game when we start up. Yeah, assuming some players crashed. I don't know why the rest aren't quitting. We see poor Sweeping Flower queuing in. I don't know if she's trying to solo queue or if she was brought in there as a sub option. I'm not too sure. Nonetheless, we're going to get a restart here for game 2. I don't think we saw any rotation there on Hufflepuff's side. I know they're missing a few chasers. I do have word Cowboy Jackman was sick today. Not too sure about Kuma. Bankum would have been really cool to see her come back to the mix. You know, former teammate of mine. I guess it's probably a bit early for her over on the other side of the world there in Australia. I know Warbeard was unavailable today. Obviously, you know, shout out to Warbeard. Him and J-Dog running Black Lake, holding it down. Seeing a lot of exciting stuff with Black Lake. You know, with the competitive tournaments, the Common Room Classic, the All-Stars tournament. Some new and exciting events coming up. Actually, we just brought over, Warbeard just made an agreement with Silverlim, right, who is running MSA. I believe there's a bit, I don't know if it's a merger or if Silverlim's going to be coming over to help out with some event ideas. I know he has a ton of like kind of mini game or Quidditch variation game custom ideas. So I think that'd be cool. A lot of people have tried to start something like that in the past. I remember Shippo had some ideas with L7, Zayuni and Midge. They had started up a server. They were looking at a lot of cool ideas, like, for example, Horse, right? Like doing chaser trick shots. So just some stuff that we may see in the future, whether it's through Black Lake, whether it's through Q6. Definitely a lot of cool ideas for some cool events going forward. But what Black Lake is doing, what I can officially announce, is a 3v3 tournament. So first of its kind, well, I guess since we were only able to play on 3v3. So that's going to be exciting. I know there's a lot of players in the game that do still love the 3v3. So we're going to see a tournament there, potentially a full-on 3v3 league. Don't hold me to that, but that's what I'm hearing in the grapevine. All right, we're underway here for game 2. Knock on wood, no bloody hells this time. Nice goal there by Rosati from Tuanella. And it's decent getting on the Seeker right away. It gets a punch in there. What's happening with... Oh. I don't know if you can switch point of view. Okay, we got Beesman with the quaffle. Decent going for those tackles on Mew. Hufflepuff with a 10-0 lead. He gets a stun. Mew is low. He's got to stay alive here. Dodges the bludger. Frank's looking for some bumps here. Picked up by Groovy. Oh, looks like Dark Rit got the final punch in on Frank. So Malik was putting in some work. Slytherin overall pressuring Franck. They get the elimination and the score by Groovy Games. Massive swing there. Big score there by Tuanella. Yeah, I have confirmation. Gryffindor and Ravenclaw did indeed queue up there. I don't know if that was a case of miscommunication or there's some urgency. Maybe some players have to leave. But I will get you an update. Darkrit with the score, tying the game 20-20. Hufflepuff with a slight snitch lead here. Big bludger by Decent on Mew, holding that snitch lead. Sorry, yeah, it is Hufflepuff. Yeah, Franck with the snitch lead. He's getting really close to catch here. Decent just killing everyone right now. The Hufflepuff beater, the Slytherin beater, Malikos is trying to stay on Franck. Unfortunately, he can't. Franck comes down with it. 50-20 Slytherin. Yeah, so looks like, checking in on the match results, Ravenclaw did take game 1 over Gryffindor. Big goal there by Groovy. 50-30, Hufflepuff up.
Le beater takes the beating this time. On récolte ce qu'on sème.
Rosati with the quaffle. He's looking for his teammates. Beesman with the save. Flips it out, and we have Singularity. She scored a ton of goals against us in the L7 match yesterday. Can't get past Zai, who flips it up to Rosati. Stolen back by Groovy. Stolen back by Katie. Some England on England action there. Beesman with a big elimination. Big kick there on Franck. That's going to be huge for Slytherin. We'll see if Olympus can come down with it. He gets a big tackle on him. He's down to 1 HP. So we're going to see the Puffs swarming in on him there. Ruby with a nice punch. And yep, Olympus does go down by the hands of Decent there. Decent with another kill, taking down Malakosis, giving Franck some breathing room there. He's got a decent lead. Nice little kickback there by Rosati, saving the score, keeping them up. "30 seconds to go here. Groovy's kind of just holding the quaffle. They really need this snitch catch. Flipped up to Rosati. Looks like another tackle on Mew. He's lost some meter, and Franck is licking his chops here. 7 seconds. Oh, big bump coming back by Olympus Mew. Can he get it? 2, 1. Oh my god, he had full meter there.
One team's effort
Oh
stole
my
the
god,
spotlight.
poor Mew.
Before we depart,
Poor
I would
Slytherin.
like to
That
introduce
was
Maxime
so
and
close.
Maman, without whom I
Uh,
would not be in this
Yeah,
competition.
that was a crazy match. Hufflepuff takes the series here. But wow, that was crazy. Okay, and we're in. Slytherin versus Gryffindor, the main event, the lore accurate, what a lot of people wanted to see today. So, Woony, to answer your question, it is Slytherin that is winning 10-0, with quite a big snitch lead. We see a lot of rotation by Gryffindor. Looks like they're here to have fun at this point. Looks like they possibly may have gone all any, to be honest. We see Harry seeking, Dark Shadow on beater. So Gryffindor is here just to have some fun. It was a bit unfortunate for us. We did lose a lot of players. Dynamite Cop was going to be one of our star chasers in this tournament. Pumpkin as our keeper main and just star player in general. Oscos as a beater. Anna Wong. So there's a lot of players, unfortunately, that weren't able to show up for Gryffindor today. So it's pretty cool to see them, hey, just sticking around, going all any, having fun with it. Shout out to them. Definitely don't like to see teams drop from the tournament. Not throwing shade at anyone, but big kill there by Beesman. Getting close to capturing that snitch. I don't know if it's green-black or if it's still Olympus Mew on Seeker there. Nice intercept by Laggy. She flips it to Veneer. Veneer and Livy have really kind of been carrying and doing a good job on this Chaser core. But easier said than done to get past Beesman there. Picked up by Malik. With the swooping dodge, shot up. Looks like Disc got a piece of that, but it's back to Grooby. And Grooby buries it. Goal by Veneer. Snitches are close. And Slytherin comes down with a green-black. What a comeback there by Gryffindor, though. I kind of slept on the snitch meters there. I didn't realize. They almost had a huge score by Veneer and a snitch catch on a crazy comeback. That was really, really close there, down to the wire. So good job by Harry. Good seeking there. I've seen him seek in the past in a Founders Cup. So I'm not surprised that he can do it. But well done by Green, Black, and Angel to hold on there. Veneer with a nice intercept. Disc picks it up, back up to Veneer. We'll see if Griff can get back on the board here. Laggy up high to Veneer. Looks like he was just kind of setting up the one-timer, so didn't quite have that aim ready. Singularity to Grooby. We got a nice perspective here. She comes in and she cooks. Again, we got a close snitch race here. I think Harry actually has the lead. Dark Shadow getting some kills on Beater. Nice steal by Veneer. Grab back by Groovy. Slytherin's pulled ahead in the snitch here a little bit. But Groovy says she just wants to end the game and move on with it. 100 to 10 by Slytherin. Sisterus, I don't know if we have the Hufflepuff Ravenclaw game. They might just be finished up here. We'll take a couple seconds to see where they're at with these games, and we'll come back shortly with an update. Yeah, Sisterus, if we can switch to Ravenclaw Hufflepuff, it looks like they are getting into game. I appears actually our producer might be having some slight issues. So again, bear with us here, please. Nice. He comes through in the clutch. I can hear him, but he's operating behind the scenes just in time to watch Mitchy Mo here. Narrowing in on the snitch in a close game. Eddie Rennie, aka Osiris, big kill on Decent. Way to neutralize that threat and just give Mitchy some breathing space here. So we see for Ravenclaw, Time Twister is in for Chaser. He was a sub as well as a Sweeping Flower. That's Queen Death Viper. Sweeping Flower, really good. I don't know if you could even call her an up-and-coming Chaser now for the Hogs. She's just really established herself in the Triwizard division. So nice to see her and Time Twister, originally subs on this roster, getting mixed into the action here. Mitchie takes a corner, nice dodge. What a bump there by Franck and a tackle. They're going to do everything they can to hold Mitchie off of that snitch. You just see all the red arrows around her. She's been in this position many times before. She can stay composed. But Franck is as lethal as anyone on the bumps here. He is holding her off. If we go back to the Seeker point of view there. Right as we're finishing up, yeah, Mitchie has it. They're both about full meter here, coming into the turn on blue. Mitchie doesn't get catch prompt. She flips around. She's going to need to find a ring here. Dodge a bludger, get a little speed boost, swoop up, and grab that snitch. Just like that, Mitchie, that's how you Seekers draw it up. Beautiful. This is a really interesting Seeker matchup. Again, we talked about Mitchie and Franck both in the Birds Kingdom there. They were teammates last season for the Nighthawks before Franck took, I guess, a break from L7. Still playing the game. Both crazy high buff. The career stats. Both of them just bumps, even compared to, you know, like a lot of the other top Seekers in the game. Big score there by Neve Katie and Katie there, so it's 40-40. Nice bump by Franck. Decent, just barely misses there on the tackle. Heading into red hoops. Mitchie dodging up, trying to stay away from that keeper. Switching back to Chaser POV. So, obviously we saw Mitchie's catch, but 3 scores have gone in, or 4 scores, my apologies, for Hufflepuff, so it is tied. Katie dodges the bludger. She swoops up. Nice stop there, so they're able to prevent a 5th goal. Gonna be massive here for Ravenclaw to get on the board, help out their Seeker with some scores. Little kickback again by Rosati. He's flashing the defense here today. Rosati, I believe, is an L7 free agent, so definitely, good exposure for some players who aren't yet in the league. Katie putting it home, 50-40, super close on the snitch. Cicerus, if we could switch back to Seeker point of view here. Mitchie is going to need either another snitch or Ravenclaw needs a goal, and then to prevent catch or eliminate Franck, which they just did. Edereni with a massive timely kill, and now it flips, and they got to get on Mitchie right now. Mitchie's got full meter, still with full 10 seconds left. Either she catches or she gets tackled and it's over. Right down to it, and Mitchie Mo. What a very clutch catch there.
With an acrobatic catch. All right, that's it. The players line up for handshakes.
Just a crazy match. Not sure who that is in chat, but maybe Mitchie read that comment and said absolutely not. She held her composure, faced a lot of pressure at the end of that first snitch, battled through it, and just a crazy comeback there. Huge tackle and kill by Edereni. Kind of more so known as a counter beater. He is really good at getting all over the enemy beater, but with just a huge pivotal kill there on the Seeker, allowing Mitchie to come swoop in and catch that. Cicerus, I don't know if you have POVs for Gryffindor and Slytherin. If they're in game, would be great to swap back over. Yes, and there we go. Slytherin and Gryffindor's underway. We do see Gryffindor's winning this match, although Slytherin really close to snitch. Against Dark Shadow. Leggy goes down. She's back on beater. So is Angel. So I guess they didn't go any this time. super close here on the snitch. Looks like they made it either a bump or tackle. Right down to the wire. Huge bump there by Dark Shadow Fox. I believe got it. He might grab this snitch here. Unless he might get kicked. He has to dodge. And no, Green Black now is in the lead. Green Black, huge tackle. Or was that a missed bump, I believe. Dark Shadow back in the lead. This is back and forth. And Dark Shadow Fox. What a massive catch. Perfect timing to swoop in there. Yeah, we see Mitchie Mo in chat throwing some shade back. Hell yeah, Mitchie. Good job, good job that game. Definitely want to see you keep it up there. Back to this, we see Laggy tackling Green Black. Chi is clearly cooking right now. What a comeback by her and Dark Shadow there. Looked like they're on the ropes. Darkrit Nighthawk, another Nimbus player, he puts the Quaffle through 60-20. So super close game. Slytherin just needs one more goal, and the catch. I think they have a slight advantage. Looks like pretty close on the snitch races here. Beautiful save by Grooby. Grooby mixing in as keeper for this game, giving Beesman a bit of a break here. Allowing more chaser opportunities. Singularity, Darkrit, and Olympus Mew is now showing that he can flex, not only keeper seeker, but also chaser. Another change I noticed, another sub in for Gryffindor was Khalil Red. So Khalil Red, former Obscurus player, also I think a free agent, currently not in L7, so great to see him back in the game. I believe Warden had to step out, but I do see Pumpkin is now active, so this is big. If Gryffindor can win, I don't know if they have a chance to advance, but they could be adding in Pumpkin and Osgoz here. 60-20, they're holding on to that lead, thanks to the pressure from Gryffindor, from Laggy, getting those tackles in on Green Black as she throws a bludger. Dark Shadow, taking the corner there. Darkrit puts in a vital goal. Now they need to get on Green Black or Dark Shadow here if they want any hope. Laggy's got that bludger locked in. Is that a hero? Nope. Because Dark Shadow's able to turn, grab the snitch, and Gryffindor wins. Massive game in this tournament. Saying, you know what, we're short some players. It's okay, Slytherin. We're here to fight you, like we always are. And that comes from all Gryffindors. So well done. Very proud of the Lions there. And 90-30, that's going to be your final score. So that will be going to a game 3.
Big winner, me, for scoring a date. You know who you are.
I don't know if the Hufflepuff game, if that's currently ongoing. Yeah, Hufflepuff versus Ravenclaw. Shout out to Cicerus, our new producer here at Black Lake. Guy is cooking behind the scenes, getting us all the action here. We're right back into Ravenclaw versus Hufflepuff. And Mitchie is still holding it down. Mitchie and Osiris. Mitchie is narrowing in on the catch at the red side. She's going to have to dodge that keeper. Looks like she got either kicked or tackled, but still comes up with it. Right as Edereni kills Franck. So 40 to nothing, because we had missed a Ravenclaw score. Not sure who that was from. A sweeping flower goes in for another one. Loose ball there, picked up by Odarina. That gets kicked away. Nice kick by Zayuni. Grabbed by It's Rosati and a shovel over to their star, Tuanella. Can she get the Puffs on the board? We definitely see Mitchie's lost some meter here. Franck is in a commanding lead. Might be, I don't think it's quite there, but could be an idea for Ravenclaw at some point to focus in on the chaser game. They have the insurance. If they score another goal and keep that differential, then they might not necessarily need that seeker. I think Edereni is already on top of it as he actually kills the keeper there, sending a few drams at Zayuni. So I imagine he's probably on the chaser game, although big bumps, big keeper kick there. And actually this meter is looking really even. Franck is low. So this is a time where Edereni's got to switch up his game plan, get right back on the seeker. All hands on deck. Franck still has a slight lead, but they can certainly take him down. Melanor with a massive goal, adding to that insurance there. Nice dodge on the Franck bump. They need a few more hits on him, though. But at the same time, Hufflepuff does need a couple scores. They're kind of running out of time here with 40 seconds. Looks like Zayuni got a big save. That might be the nail in the coffin. Chaser did go down, but it looks like Franck's... No, it's super even now. Another clutch comeback here by Mitchie, potentially. Huge bump in the corner. And, oh, Franck ends up grabbing it. Yeah, the bump was from Franck, my apologies. He swoops in and grabs it. Nice catch by him, but it is just a little bit too late there. And I don't want to say the word yet. Yeah, like Zayuni, what a bounce back game by him there on keeper. Really well done. We saw Pasa one cooking earlier. I'm not sure if he had to go, but Zai did struggle early on, bounce back with a couple decent games, and then what an incredible performance there with the shutout. Cicerus, sorry to I'm working you on overtime here, but if we want to see if we got Gryffindor or Slytherin POVs, would be awesome to catch game 3 there if we can. Perfect. Yeah. Back into Gryffindor Slytherin. Game 3 in the rivalry, lore accurate. A lot of bad blood, a lot of friendships as well, of course, but both teams desperately want to take the cake here in this series. Interesting. I see Disc on Seeker. That means, yeah, it is Pumpkin Snatch. So Pumpkin Snatch has finally arrived. She is on Keeper. Finally giving poor Dark Shadow Fox a break there, so that Disc can swoop in back on his natural role here. I'm gonna assume the same chasers, yeah, Khalil, Veneer, and Harry. So maybe it was Livy swapped out potentially, but they did like what they saw there from Khalil and Harry with the Game 1 win. Game 2, my apologies. Big score there by Singularity, aka Goat-ularity. All she knows how to do is score. Flipping back up to Veneer. Disc Jockey with quite a big lead. Chat, did I miss a kill? I don't know if Green Black Cat went down or if maybe Laggy just got a few tackles. Apologies if I missed an elim there. One of the saddest things, I can certainly speak to experience as a beater, is you have the game of your life, you cook, and nobody notices. Singularity again. Massive insurance there, because it does look like Disc, barring... let's see if he can avoid the pressure here. Coming back up midfield, there's a lot of pressure on him. He's taking the turn. He's still full meter there. He's about half health. Starting to regain a bit, and he comes down with it. I think he also actually dropped something. Crazy enough, when he caught that snitch, I saw a golden crown fall down to the pitch below. So somebody had to go pick that up, and we're back underway here. Tie game, 40-40, Gryffindor, Slytherin. Khalil, he flips it over for the 1T. That goes wide. Doesn't look like it was charged enough there. Harry gets it back. Trying for that drift, reverse cam. Tough to do that on a keeper like Bees, man. He dives all the way out there. Both Peters just doing work on the chaser game right now. Letting the Seekers kind of go at it here. Veneer grabs it. Nicely timed bludger there by Angel. That was beautiful. Veneer says, no, it's my quaffle. Dodging that bludger and putting that one in the hoop. The Kelpies legend, Veneer, formerly one of the better chasers in this game. Awesome to see him back. Still got a slight snitch lead here for Gryffindor. Singularity's coming in. She goes up high, flips it over. Beautiful one-timer there by Groovy. Really nice play for the score on Pumpkin. Pumpkin is coming in with 0 warm-up. So doing the best she can. Nice keeper kick there by Pumpkin on green-black. He dodges the second. A lot of pressure on these Seekers now. Green-black still at half. Grabbed by Singularity. She comes flipping in, and she gets past Pumpkin. 60-50 here for Slytherin. This is a crazy game in a crazy series. Coming down to it all here in Game 3. For the bragging rights, you know, both sides are going to be active in L7 or in Black Lake General chat there. The 3 broomsticks, as we call it. Khalil Red flips up over to Harry. That was a beautiful little play there. These guys have found a little bit of chaser synergy, it looks like. tying up the game there. Nice score by Harry. Pumpkin calling out the orders. Let's get on the Seeker, everyone. Super close race. Disc with, again, the slight lead still. Bees is holding that hero. Watch out there, Disc. Disc gets hit with it. He goes down to 1. Can he stay alive? He still has a lead. Very slight. He's getting close to 100 meter. He gets 1 bar back. Can he dodge those beater tackles? Looks like Green-Black gets full. No, he gets bumped. And it is a score by Khalil Red. Both Seekers, full meter, 20 seconds left for all the bragging rights. Gryffindor, Slytherin, and Disc Jockey. Let's go. Absolutely dropped his crown. The king, Disc Jockey. What a series. I will try not to be biased, try not to be a homer here, but I am fired up and glad that I don't have to hear from those snakes in the Black Lake general chat there. Lions on top. They might not have had the best tournament. You know, they had some struggles with some availability, with some players showing up, dropping out last second, getting sick, sleeping in some cases. Yeah, and Cicerus is going to pull us right back over to Hufflepuff Ravenclaw here. Non-stop Quidditch action. And we're going to get the full game this time, which is nice. They are just queuing in. Okay, we are back. Thank you guys for your patience today as we get loaded back up here. Going to be the final match, the Common Room Classic Championship Series here. It will be a best of 5 between Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. And I'm happy because I actually have some friends here in the booth. Welcome back, Ruby, Jim Tones, and welcome my fellow broadcasting goat here, Time Twister.
Thanks for having
Howdy,
us.
howdy.
Hello, everyone.
Before we dive into this really quickly, Jim, want to do us the honors? What was the score? What was the result there? Azkabanger's Thin Ice. What happened?
It was 1-1-1. When we won the first game, they won the second game, and Yukio got lunged twice the third game, giving us the win.
Oh no, the brutal lunge. That's crazy though. So Azkabangers took that over Thin Ice. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, Jim, if you want to take us right into the Ravenclaw roster here, I know you did already break it down. I know you obviously weren't able to watch as much. I will tell you that Michi Mo has a chip on her shoulder today. She has something to prove. She has been cooking, catching a lot of snitches, making some great comebacks with the help of her team. Ed Rennie, especially, I think he'd be doing you proud, Jim. With a lot of clutch kills, obviously on beater, as we normally see from Eddie, but also on the Seeker, like really close. He killed Franck right in like the last second there to have Michi come back and win. So Franck's obviously in Hufflepuff. They're going to want their revenge against Ravenclaw here. I think it's going to be a crazy finals.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that. You know, proud of my Ravenclaws there, Michi. You know, Edirani. Was happy to see. By the way, happy to see a debut of Tama in our games against Thin Ice as well. He came in seeking for them. Didn't get very far. They all left him into a 1v6, but yeah, I'm a little disappointed I didn't get to see all this though. I'm excited you know, to hear, you know, Michi popping off, you know, Edirani being a good support.
Yeah, and of course the Chasers holding it down as you'd expect them to. Don't think there's definitely a few players that haven't shown up on the Chaser side. I don't know if we've seen Vin or Shucks, for example, or Lego. Sweeping Flower has been subbed in, and she was playing well on the Chaser game there. Time Twister, am I wrong? Or I think I saw you mix in on Chaser as well, right?
Yeah, I'd like to say I was cooking on a little bit on Chaser, getting a couple of assists. Real key beater Elim in the Gryffindor match. They're in round 2, I've been told.
You're the goat, man. That's why you train Rishi himself. Maybe you should train him on Chaser next.
Just don't lose.
But for real, Time Twister, you wanna, because obviously you were actually there for this. You played in some of the matches. I'm sure you've been kind of with the team. What's the vibe like? How's everyone feeling? Who's cooking? What's going down in that locker room there?
Vibes are real immaculate. You know, we're all I'd say we're all cooking. There's definitely a lot of synergy between there on the Chaser game. And then Skipper keeping absolutely huge there, making those real vital saves game 2 and game 3. Um, and
Yeah,
then,
I
you
mean,
know,
no surprise there.
right, and those pivotal all hands calls by Michi, just absolutely amazing.
Love to hear it. Yeah, I mean, you got Skipper El Presidente. One of my great keepers that I love playing with. Holding it down. Chaser game, like we said, was cooking. Obviously, Odarina, we know what she can do. And as I mentioned, Sweeping Flower, aka Queen Death Viper, is in as a sub. But boy, does she not look like a sub. Like, she is cooking there. So definitely a name to keep an eye on, an up and coming Chaser here. Can we switch to Hufflepuff? Cicerus, we'll take a quick look. I believe that the teams are getting ready to queue in. Yeah, so Time Twister, were you in the match against Hufflepuff? I don't know if
I
you were
was.
there at that point. Yeah, maybe
I
talk to me about what you saw from their side.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of pressure between Frank and Michi, especially there on that first. I think it was the first snitch. It was either the first. It was either second snitch game 1 or first snitch game 2 when Eddie Ronnie Osiris got that real huge elim there, just right there at the end when
Yeah,
both meters were full. Um, Zayuni absolutely cooking on keeper just like always. Um,
yeah, we saw a
and
shutout from him. That was huge.
yeah. And we saw the chaser core of Tuonela, and Katie, and it's Rosati, who are just absolute machines.
Yeah, Melanor in chat to correct. I meant up and coming like GOAT. Like, we're gonna see her cooking in the World Cup very soon. Of course, absolutely no disrespect to Sweeps. One thing I did want to say, yeah, like Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, it gave us absolute fireworks. I got my popcorn ready. Mitchie and Frank, like, this is just duel of the fates here. Cue the music. It's going to be super exciting to watch. But before we dive into this and focus all in on Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, shout out to Slytherin and Gryffindor for giving us an incredible show, kind of like the consolation match there in the last series we saw. And while Gryffindor got the last laugh in that one, Slytherin getting the last laugh in actual Black Lake. They officially won season 11. Sorry, Groovy, I should be passing the reins over to you. Were you involved? Were you putting up points, or who was kind of cooking for you guys this season?
I'll be honest, it's all Angel. I don't think this will come as a surprise to anyone. She's really the one running the show with points, and I know that Bees is a big support for that as well. But we had quite a few Slytherins putting points in this season, so well done to everyone who did that. Great lead, and we'll see what happens in season 12.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that, like, Ravenclaw was kind of running the show, and then Gryffindor, we had that one crazy season, and Ravenclaw came back, and you guys were kind of like the silent killers there. You were kind of creeping behind us in third. And Angel has just put your house into overdrive here for sure. The drill sergeant.
She really is. She really is.
Okay, teams are queuing. So, producer, whenever you're ready to flip us back over, I think we're all definitely excited for this finals to get underway. The only other thing I'll mention quickly about Hufflepuff is the Chaser Core really has been Tuanella with Katie, and it's Rosati, actually. So a lot of names in front of him that either no-showed or weren't able to be able to play today. I know Cowboy got sick. I hope he gets better. Shout out Cowboy Jackman. Welcome back to QC. But it's Rosati, I think, has been the player to kind of step up. We've seen that in all houses. We've seen players, really get their spotlight in this tournament, which really was, it's what it's all about here. So shout out to Rosati and of course Katie. Tuanella goes without saying, but Katie is absolutely cooking. If that is a surprise to anyone, it shouldn't be. But it's going to be really close here on the Chaser game. And we are underway here. 2-6, aka Odarina, quickly has it, but that's stolen by Rosati again, right on schedule there.
She shoots. He goes for the shot.
Ooh, Hufflepuff with an early one-timer there. Great score, good angle.
Yes, Rosati is making me look good here as a commentator. But yeah, what do you think about that angle there, Groovy? Do you like getting down into that little kind of blind spot area there to set up for that 1T?
I actually think if we look at the way that Chaser players change during the seasons, I'm going to get a little bit technical now, I think you'd find that most Chasers who play actively will play on the top half of the pitch, just because it seems to be so much easier to evade up there. So even there, that's a great example. The tackle and the steal at the bottom of the pitch, because you just don't have as much visibility when you're down there. But I think it is still very viable to take those bottom corners. Personally, I prefer the top. Nobody come and tackle me for saying that. I might be giving away secrets, but that was a great score there too. It really is just down to personal preference and who you're playing with. I think once you get into a rhythm with your team, you can decide whether you want to take top or bottom, or fluctuate too. That's always a great option. Another great steal there as well.
Melanor couldn't get that one in, but she is cooking. Great analysis, Groovy, as usual. Just an expert on the game, on Chaser play. That's why you're the real captain of DQC, and we all know that you actually call the shots.
Something like that. I'm just happy to be around. Another massive steal from Mel there. We'll see what she does trying to take this down the pitch. We can see the snitch meters fluctuating, but it's coming up to that all-important first catch, so we'll see who gets this here. And a long shot by Mel. Just a little flick to the left, and it went straight in the hoop. We'll see if they can use this. Maybe hold hero if they've got time, I'm not too sure. Or reserve it and then try and get that catch at the end of the first snitch race.
We see two huge kicks by Skipper there, knocking out Franck.
Skipper is a kicking goat.
Oh, I don't know if anyone else caught that. I think Zayuni dropped. Yep. That's unfortunate. We've had a few of those today. I know we had 2 of them on Slytherin. I think Gryffindor had one as well. Unfortunately, when you choose to play this game, that's what you choose to play with, but we love it all the same. Hopefully Zai can get back in and start to make some scores. We see a score there from Kay that'll take Hufflepuff up to 30 points to 20. It does look like Ravenclaw are going to clinch this snitch as Franck goes down again.
Yeah, glad to see no bloody hells there. A little bit too late in the game, even though the first snitch wasn't caught. Quite a clear lead, and they did have lead in Quaffle at the time. There goes Michimo to secure. So 50-20. Not sure if Zai has been able to rejoin or if they have another sub ready and waiting to queue in. I mean, those bot keepers can kind of be tricky sometimes.
I see him on the screen now. It looks like he's holding. He's just passed out, so it does look like he managed to make it back in.
Okay, Zai is in over bot keeper. That is good. Skipper going for his kicks like he does. Has to get back in on the... No, he does not. Odarina with a huge steal there.
Quaffle coming back into Skipper. Let's see if we can get a score here. We don't. It was super, super close. Quaffle's loose up in the air, and now it's been taken back upfield again. some decent POV here. I don't know about any of my other chasers. Whenever I watch Beta or Seeker POV, it kind of makes me feel a bit sick because they move so erratically. Maybe that's just me. Seekers are pretty much on par here. Moving down the field. Ooh, and a bit of an early dodge there, I think. That leaves Mitchie at half health. We'll see if Hufflepuff can take advantage of that or not.
Yeah, they did get the score again from Rosati. That's a big kick. We got super close meters here, 50 to 30.
Yeah, this is a winnable game by both teams at this point. 2 minutes left, only 20-point difference, and mid-snitch meters, so not a massive difference for either side. What we'll see now is which team can really put the pressure on to get that final catch, if we see a catch at all, of course. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes the pressure's just too much that neither Seeker can make it. I know we saw that in one of our series earlier.
For sure. I'm going to say from my past Seeker experience, there definitely will be here, just because of how locked in both of these Seekers look. Lots of time left here, like unless they both get killed multiple times, there will be a second catch. Question is who? It's super close. I believe Hufflepuff have a very slight lead. They're going to need it, as they are down now by 30. Now they definitely need it. Sweeping Flower again. Right? She's, you know, the Rosati, I guess, of Ravenclaw, who's got the spotlight on her and definitely making the most of it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Ravenclaw's snitch meter took a bit of a hit there, so that could have been a tackle. Jim, any thoughts from you on what would be best to do in this situation here to try and clinch that snitch?
Sorry, back to beater point of view, if we can. Cicerus, just for this catch here. And yeah, sorry, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are, I mean, a million things you can be doing here. Let's switch over to decent here. You know, a million things that you can be doing as beater. You know, the one thing you probably don't want to be doing is throwing a bludger at a Seeker who's in front, or Seeker's close enough to be earning a bump. You know, so usually if there's any pressure, if there's chasers, a beater, somebody else on them, that's who you want to be throwing a bludger at. Ideally, you want to not be behind. You want to be up there in the action, throwing out, you know, reverse cam punches, you know, just applying pressure. You know, if you're at the proper angle.
What a goal there.
She came in
That's
with
nail in the
the last
coffin
second
right
clinch.
That is the nail there.
So game one,
sorry to
Ravenclaw.
cut you off there, Jim, but yeah, what an absolute clutch goal by Sweeping Flower, and they take it. 70-60.
Fun.
It is fun, Jim. You're right.
Very well done. But yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I agree with your analysis on beater. One thing I am a big defender of is bludger on catch. Now I agree if you're way back and you know the enemy seeker's ahead, yeah, you don't want to send a long bludger in. That just gives them the easy speed boost. But I mean, hey, I bludgered a seeker on his catch on lunge yesterday. It can certainly be done. You got about a 1 second window. If it's too early and they're ahead, they just get that speed burst. If it's a second too late, obviously they've caught by then. So it can be done, but I certainly agree. Like in that situation, it's something you got to be cognizant of. And certainly, I do like some of those getting out in front, having that positioning, holding them off the snitch, and throwing back those rear cam bludgers or even tackles are possible. Some of the beater goats in this game are able to get those rear cam tackles. So certainly agree. I guess it's a bit of a debatable topic there, but
let me clarify. I do use bludgers on catch. I was looking at the, you know, the 10% leading up to it is when you don't necessarily want to be doing it, especially early on in a straightaway. You don't want to be giving them that speed boost, letting them get ahead.
Correct.
But at catch, absolutely. If your seeker is behind and will not get the catch, absolutely be throwing that, you know, for the catch. Push them off of it. I like boosting it, slowing it down right before it gets to them. I like the idea of push them off on a wide dodge, get them away from that snitch. Or if they choose to go for it, punish them.
As soon as you see that arm stretching out, that's the time to attack there. What a performance by Ravenclaw, though. Mitchie and Eddie just doing what they've done all day long. Skipper holding it down, kicking absolutely everyone, racking up the kills. And then we knew what to expect from players like Oda, Melanor, some of the other, great chasers they have there. But, it might have worked out well for them that some didn't show up and Sweeping Flower got to come in and just absolutely cook here.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's interesting to see the possession chaser side as well. We got to see quite a lot of the chaser gameplay there. I think even though Ravenclaw came out with the win, I'd say that Hufflepuff possession was more solid, and actually the shots that they took were more likely to convert. So it'll be good to see if that's the case in game 2 and if that makes a difference or not. But really strong performance from both sides, and clearly two teams that know when to swap to chaser game 2. So they are playing strategically. You can see sort of when it clicks. I think we saw a little bit of decent POV when people started piling on, trying to make sure they get that catch for catch 1 and catch 2. So yeah, a lot of players to fear here. So we'll see how the snitch races and the chaser game goes in game 2 and see if we can get a 1-1.
For sure. Off the top of your head, they could do better. I know you mentioned you were really impressed with how Hufflepuff's chasers controlled the pressure there and the flow of the game. Is it just a matter of, luck and capitalizing on your chances? Can they maybe add a little bit more secret pressure, or what do you guys think they need to do here?
I mean, personally, I think a lot of chaser game specifically, I'll let you guys talk more secret beta because you guys are the experts, but a lot of chaser is looking for those windows. I know I speak to my own team about this a lot, making sure that we're not giving out free heroes and thinking about when to use the reserves. I'm actually really thankful we've not seen a lot of farming today. We can see the teams loading in now. But I think really just waiting for the right time to score and also not rushing if you don't need to. If you can dodge the other chasers and put it in, that's the perfect way to go. Alright, so we've got decent POV here, watching the beta from the start off. We see Hufflepuff in possession of the quaffle first, moving downfield, see if they can get that early score. And they do, and Katie puts it into the hoop. That puts Hufflepuff 10 points up, 15 seconds in. That's a super strong start.
Yeah,
I do like to see what Decent's doing here.
Go ahead, Jim.
Sorry. I do like to see what Decent's doing here. He used to be a bludger on start kind of guy. I think he and I had a conversation about it, and I like to see that he's going for that initial tackle there, setting up with a bludger as he gets back into line. Like to see what he's doing here. No, we don't have to. Just I liked his start there. It's one of the better starts for beater. If Snitch is on your side, some people summon and you lose out on free tackle opportunities. He didn't land it, but when you do, I mean that's a free find pretty much.
100%.
We see decent miss a tackle there. I think trying to go in for those sideways tackles is usually a pretty good strat when you know you're going against the secret that doesn't use focus cam right. So we'll see if he can land a couple of those during the game.
He gets Eddie there. Both of these beaters certainly like to scrap. Jim, I think we've had a couple of those in our day, but love to see the beaters going after each other. Franck is still low. Looks like he's finally able to regen a little bit. He's been low for a while. Good pressure by Ravenclaw. One thing I noticed is we see Oof, another kind of returning player, just recently joined up with the Hogs. He has mixed back in as well, so a little bit of rotation still happening in the late stages here. Beautiful bump.
See, personally, I'm not usually a huge fan of putting beaters down, especially where he was.
Eddie got the kill, by the way.
Yep, and the reason that happened, so any beaters out there, alright, killing a beater, if your Seeker's low, that's a good time to be doing it, but if your Seeker's sitting fine and you're going after their beater, you're wasting Seeker opportunity. What we saw happen there is Eddie gets respawned at midfield and gets that, he gets that, that side swipe on Franck, and then Franck just wasn't able to bring it back. Going down, and now we're looking at something like a 25-30% snitch lead from that kill. So be careful with that. Putting down a beater is not always the optimal play.
Yeah, Jim, you were always big on... Yes, and the beater kill, and just a big turning point. Jim, when I made the transition from Seeker to Beater, I remember one thing you were always big on is being intentional as a Beater. So spot on analysis there. To your point, I think a really good time to attack the Beater is if, yes, your Seeker's ahead like that, or if you notice him going into tackle your Seeker, maybe you get on him really quick. But we do see on the Chaser game, Swooping Flower bringing it back up, and another kill by
Frank
Eddie.
goes down
on
again.
Frank.
With a slow bludger, pushing him into that dodge into the path of the snitch. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, so that'll confirm catch here. We see another goal
And a
from
Ravenclaw score.
So 20.
Mitchie is half health. One bludger would put Mitchie down right now. So this is where Beater needs to be defensive. This is where now Eddie needs to be just on his back, making sure those bludgers are intercepted, tackling him to get him off and force the bludgers, and just once you have that bludger, just hold on to it. With a 50%, you can take a bump or two. But a great catch by Mitchie though there.
Kickoff there. Hufflepuff running the quaffle in, trying to get some more of those points. There's Katie again, top group score. Let's see if they can turn this around with a second snitch catch. I mean, a 20-point difference really isn't very much in this game. I think we've all experienced games where you can be 50, 60 points down and they've just completely returned, and you can win 70 to 60, sometimes even higher in the scoreboard than that if you have a really good second half. But we see the return, and there's another shot from Sweeps. Yeah, so these Chaser calls are really locked in right now. They said, okay, you get one, now we're going to get one. We'll see if that continues for the rest of the second half, but we're also seeing quite a Seeker diff between Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw right now. So we'll see if those bars even out too.
Oh yes, did Mitchie go down, or did she get off the side of the snitch? She was just 0% there for a second. I think she got a bump in. It looks like he's down 1 HP. Oh, and that 40-point difference. Now this is a very strong place to be. At this point, if you're up 40, you have all the options. And another bump by Mitchie, taking the lead on Snitch. But now you can let the Snitch go, and as long as you are being defensive or even scoring more on Chaser, the game is yours at this point. 40-point difference. It's where you want to be on top, but on the bottom, now you have everything to worry about. You can't focus all on Snitch, you can't focus all on Chaser anymore.
We did see Mitchie getting bumped there just before the POVs changed, and now we're back to Decent to see how he deals with the Seeker race. It's fairly even at the minute, but as we all know, one bludger, one bump can pull away. Hufflepuff will really need the second Snitch. They need a Snitch and a score just to break, and then they'd obviously be looking for that final score as well. But there's Ravenclaw with another return, so 30 to 80 now.
Huge.
So that takes us up to the Snitch catch and 2 scores just to take it into overtime at the end. It'll be close with 1 minute and 6 left.
Where this gets really scary, though, is with 2 scores down, you can only score 1 before the Snitch catch because you're giving heroes, and that at this point, under 1 minute, even 1 hero is a lot of Snitch meter. If you're respecting, and if you're not, if you're in there, you're taking the damage. You're getting stunned. So this is a really rough place to be. 45 seconds left to get 2 scores and a Snitch to go into overtime.
For sure.
Yeah,
I think we've all been
we
there
see
as well. Where
and
you think
3,
it's
and that's
with another score. That is
going to
game.
be game.
Yeah.
3 scores with a 10-second comeback. That's going to be game. Congratulations to my
But-
fellow Ravenclaws.
Game's not over. We got a Snitch catch. We had seen Mitchie pull ahead in bumps. I think a big tackle by Decent, because now it's even. Actually, Frank has the lead. He is 100%. They're trying to get some
But a
dignity
bump
back
or a
here.
tackle or something just happened.
Something hit.
Let's see, does Mitchie get the 120? Does Frank pull the score in? He does.
He
I don't think
does.
they're getting 3 in 7 seconds, though.
No, but it's just been awesome to watch these two go at it. Former teammates. In my opinion, really similar style Seekers. They're really bump efficient. They go for bumps a lot. They also dodge a lot. And we've seen a few deaths, right? Obviously, Decent and Ed or Rennie are cooking. They're doing well. But I like what I've seen from these Seekers today in locking in on those dodges. Like we talked about with Beater, right? With Seeker, you have to be just as, if not more, intentional. You know, sometimes you can use rear cam. You can look back, see if the Beater's holding a bludger. And if they are, maybe you're not going to dodge. Because the moment you do, right, we've seen both Osiris and Decent throw in pivotal bludgers there. But yeah, these Seekers, I mean, Thomas saying it in chat, like, this is probably the most locked in I've ever seen Mitchie. And Franck, obviously, we've seen this level from him before, but for him to come back to the game and perform like this, it's super impressive. Him and Decent both.
I gotta say too, that's a very high scoring game. You usually see, 80-20, maybe a 60-50, but to see, what was it, 90-60 at the end? Oh, that's a very
Yeah.
high scoring game. The Chasers were doing their job, 90 points between the two teams. I mean, just excellent work all around. Everybody make sure, by the way, wait, hold on one second. Oh, that wasn't okay. I thought that was our producer there that had the Windows not activated. Somebody out there has their Windows not activated. Let's see if we can get them some help.
Okay, IT
I was
Jim
gonna-
is on the case.
Let's figure
I
out
was
who
gonna
that
say-
was.
Eddie chiming in, like we talked about, Jim, you and I know, beaters often getting overlooked. Eddie, we do see you. You're cooking, man. Both of these beaters just really kind of locking in. And the Chaser core, like, what do you guys think so far? It's been pretty back and forth. Groovy, I know you had said Ravenclaw you thought, or Hufflepuff had more of the edge in game one, even though Ravenclaw outscored them. What do you think about that game there? How did you see that one playing out?
I mean, I think both of the Chaser sides were super aggressive that game. I think maybe we are seeing a lot of close catches, but I mean, Hufflepuff had a significant lead on the Snitch in that second game, and then it faltered. I think we couldn't figure out if Mitchie died. She got tackled. She was super low meter at the beginning. And then obviously the comeback at the end there. So it's about maintaining that lead more than anything. I think personally, even for me as a chaser, it's so easy to have the blinders on. You can be like, I just need to score, I need to get the points on the board, especially if you see something like a 50-point difference. You start panicking, you think we need a snitch and we need the 2 scores to go in, so I'm just going to hard run quaffle. And sometimes that's not the smart way to play it, and there's better windows to take. So it's a difficult place to be in, how they started for the second half of the game. But I think both teams are really showcasing what they can do. I think maybe Hufflepuff just need to swap back to the Seeker game a little bit earlier. And maybe that will get them the points that they need to take them into a further series. This could be the final game here, so it'll be interesting to see if we have any roster changes too.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll see any rotation here. Perhaps I think it was Melanor sat for Oof there, I believe.
Yeah, and I agree with your analysis there, Groovy. When you're down 20, like you said, you don't want to just beeline it because that's what you're expected to do. They're on defense for it. When you're looking down that barrel of 20 points and you've got, I think we were at a minute 10 left. You've got to remember that you've probably, looking at the scores, you probably got anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds before snitch catch. You just need one before that catch, and you get the other one off of kickoff. So you've got the time to get in position, and you just really need to hone in there and make sure that score happens. And running it down is not always the way to do that. It works sometimes, and if it does, it's great. But that one is very essential. I agree with you. Gotta slow down, take a breath, and set it up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're seeing a lot of Seeker eliminations here. What would you say to the Seekers, OT, Jim, Time Twister, for that survivability aspect of the game? I mean, you've got 2 beaters that are obviously super aggro. And I think we've also got 2 Seekers that aren't using focus cams, so sometimes that visibility can be an issue. The indicators sometimes don't show up, or you can't tell how close someone is. So what would you recommend for this matchup as we see them load in here?
I know that from what I've seen, both of these Seekers can be a little bit dodge heavy. Make sure that you're using the dodge for what you need it for. If it's to avoid a bump, you should be staying just outside the bump range or just inside of it to where you can move out. You don't want to be wasting those dodges there. But we're coming into kickoff.
Dodge heavy Seekers. So it is, like we said about being intentional. I think they've locked it in, pretty well so far. I think it's, also an element of the beaters just cooking. It's also they're both really strong on bump games, so they're dealing with a lot of things at once right now. So just trying to stay locked in and avoid those bludgers is massive. Time Twister, I don't know if you had anything else to add there. How's their snitch pathing looked for you so far?
I think I think Michi's snitch pathing is, well, it's Michi's. It's very erratic. And especially we saw there in that second snitch of game 2, that really low snitch meter. You know, I didn't see if there was an elim or not, but that really funky snitch path is it's quite detrimental to me, at least when I'm seeking.
Yeah, it's huge when you're low health, obviously, and Mitchie's really, really good at doing it. She's hard to tackle from experience. But yeah, I agree. We'll see if they can lock in a little bit tighter on that snitch path, build that meter quickly, while obviously dodging those bludgers. We saw an early score, so Ravenclaw, commentator curse, and it's a tie match here.
We see a
Yeah,
really
it's
strong
not
punch
like
there
it's
by
all day.
Edarati.
Yeah,
Mhm.
all day long, Groovy.
Really strong pitch by Edarani. Almost had a lock-on tackle afterward. If his Seeker was there, might have gotten the draft speed, might have been good. You see a decent kill him again. When Seekers are... This might be better timing. I think Seekers are going to be past him when he respawns. So that kill might be okay. Oh, but they turn back. Oh, he is right there. Commentator
You can never
curse.
count on that. You can never count on that. It's the same on Chaser as well. You know, you go for the score, you think you've got that good window.
And we see Frank
but
hit
they're passing through red.
in that.
And then you
now,
can just circle back any time, right? You just never know when that's going to happen, whether it's a beater waiting at midfield, whether it's a hero. The game's unpredictable sometimes with the snitch pattern, so we've seen people lose entire series down to the snitch turning early. So hopefully it behaves itself for this one.
Ooh, Edarani with really good positioning, forcing a dodge. I think he tackled there. If he held that, might have worked out. We see Frank losing track of the snitch there, unfortunately, but still maintaining his lead. He's not too far away. Gonna get close. I think he's trying to avoid Mitchie, trying to keep away from that bump, because one bump brings us into a tie. Probably takes the lead. But see, that's where, you know, we see him dodge there instead of turning out, and that's where if Peter was there ready with a bludger, that'd be punished really heavy. Oh, and there it
Gets
is.
hit. There's a nice little slow bludger from Eddie. Perfectly
Still
even, I
has
think, on the
lead.
meter. No, yeah, you're right. Frank has pulled ahead again. He's
We
really
need to
tight
keep
to
her
the snitch.
here. And Keeper can apply
Keeper
this
pick
pressure, hold it
or a
off.
bump.
One bump, one tackle, one bludger. Anything can change this. And there it is.
There's the bludger, just like you
There's the
said,
bludger.
Jim.
There's another hit.
Great on the early dodge. Can Mitchie capitalize?
There it is.
Yes, she can. Michimo and Edareni.
Mitchie, my goat.
Alright, so 40-20 to Ravenclaw. Only a 20-point difference, so not huge. Coming into this second half, it'd be good to see some more chaser scores. We've had one on the side of Ravenclaw, two on the side of Hufflepuff. Ravenclaw in possession now. Looks like it was passed over, moving up pitch. We'll see if there's any chance of Ravenclaw trying to maintain that heavy lead, which will put Hufflepuff in a difficult position again, or if Hufflepuff can reply and say, actually, we're just going to equalise and then we're going to focus on the second snitch, and that's going to be the win con. I think that'd be a conversation I'd probably have at this point.
Mitchie running red right now. Going into her own keeper area. So a little bit protected, but does she regen already?
It's difficult to tell, but Oof came in with the Ravenclaw score. That means there's a 30-point difference now. So we're almost seeing a little bit of a repeat from game 2, where that lead is just getting slightly bigger. And of course, the commentator's curse, I had it too. There's another one from Oda, so that takes them up 40 points. So Hufflepuff now are thinking we need at least a score and we need a snitch. So very, very similar to game 2. So we'll see if they can pull off onto Seeker early enough to make the difference in this one.
Alright, and you see that they are slowing down a little bit. They're getting chasers in place. They are setting up, so maybe they were listening. Maybe they took the advice. You know, set up a careful one. There you go. And they have snitch lead. Let's see, who are we looking at right now? And Seekers
It's a huge
got
goal, though.
a
Yeah,
bad
another snitch
ooh.
away.
It's all up to the snitch pathing here on if that is impactful or not.
Skipper's just been killing chasers all day long. It's hilarious.
Oh, and there's that 40 back.
Sweeps doing sweeps things there.
Now that is going to be a hero. That's going to likely give Hufflepuff their lead on Snitch. I think at this point, I think you likely don't score and you rely on that kickoff and getting it there. You go heavy defense, your beater ensures that's pushed forward. That's not bad timing, though. As long as the Snitch doesn't turn, this could still be okay. It's going to be tight. Ravenclaw has taken a narrow lead, but it is still very much a tackle, a bump, a bludger, anything can swing this either way. Edirani goes
kill
down.
On Eddie.
So it's all going to be up to Mitchie, and she gets
And
bumped. That might... That does it.
70-70, huge catch.
The Sigma
that's
front.
Exactly what we were saying about the heroes. Skipper just held that and used it exactly when it needed to be used. It really
the heroes,
in the end of the game.
The dodges, followed by the bludgers, right? Things that we've kind of been pointing out. Someone in chat saying, is talking about living on the space bar, which is crazy. That's going to be the X factor. Who can lock in? I know there's a lot of pressure. 2 really good bumping seekers. A lot of pressure from the chasers. Obviously, the bludgers coming in, the keeper. Who can lock in on a tighter turn and just using a little bit less or more intentional dodges here.
Possession going back and forth constantly here.
Yeah, here's Rosati.
They couldn't quite get it. It's been kicked back out to midfield, so we'll see if Hufflepuff can return this and try go for their opportunity. But we see the steal
and
from
there
Rosati
he gets
there.
the tackle. Yeah, and here comes
now
Katie.
are they
She's been
2 up
scoring
without support?
all tournament.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Bad time to switch the POV. Great goal there. Huge comeback win by Hufflepuff.
I think Ravenclaws, I think they put all 3 of their chasers up. They left their keeper, unfortunately, in a 1v2 situation, which objectively they just should not be winning if the chasers are doing their job. It's really unfortunate. Having 1 chaser there to stop the one-timer would have gone a long way.
Yeah,
I don't think the one-timer was used, but it just narrows down the opportunities.
100%.
Well done by Hufflepuff.
Back and forth action. Katie, obviously Tuanella, and Rosati, they're all cooking. But we've seen a lot of scores by Katie. Wasn't surprised to see that one go in at the end when, unfortunately the skipper kind of got left out to dry there. But huge comeback. What was that, a bump at the end on that snitch catch? That was a crazy turn of events there.
Yeah, they were 20 points down. I think it was 40-20 after the first snitch catch. So to make that rebound and come back like that was pretty great. But you're right, it really does come down to that positioning at the end. If your beater doesn't get the dram timed right, because most beaters there will go for the keeper rather than following the seekers. More often than not, you'll have that final score before the 3rd snitch catch. So they played that absolutely right. They pushed someone over who was offensive and they got the final score. And now chat get what they want and they get to see more games. So we'll hang around and we'll see what the next game looks like.
Yeah, I guess we'll take just a quick break here. So bear with us and we'll be back for game 3.
No, they're in already.
Cicerus says no break. On for more action. Okay. I was trying to listen to my boy Kemi and go get some water, but we'll lock in here.
Oh, that's why I've got mine on my desk. Okay, we see game 4 here. It's currently 2-1 to Ravenclaw. So if Ravenclaw win this, that will be the series done. If Hufflepuff take this game, that will take us to game 5 of the best of 5 series.
Isn't Hufflepuff at 2?
No, they're at 1, aren't they?
I thought they
it's
were
currently
the first
2-1 in favor of Ravenclaw.
Oh. I misremembered. Mitchie low pretty early on. Death here isn't the worst thing in the world if it does happen. You know, 1 bump, 2 bumps, and you're back in it. But she does have a pretty high regen broom. I believe she runs turbo. But there she goes.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a case of the commentator's curse there, Jim. Not
Well, I
seeing
said it
scores
was
super early here, but we're seeing the chasers go in, so that could have been commentator's curse, but it's not. We saw the steal. Ravenclaw taking the quabble back up the pitch here. But we see quite a significant snitch lead for Hufflepuff, so if they can maintain that, that could be absolutely huge for the first catch, but we all know that everything can change in the 2 or so minutes that we'll probably see here before the first catch. Low scoring compared to the other games. I think we've normally seen 1 or 2 by this point. Some games we've seen scores right off the kickoff, so it'll be good to see some of that chaser action as well.
Let's see, I think at this point, you know, bumps can happen, but a lot of this snitch game now comes down to the beater. Really has to land, you know, those couple of key punches. And Bludger, if he gets a kill, it's incredible. Oh, Frank with that narrow dodge, burning his bump and his dodge to get away from that Bludger, but still getting hit, still low. 1 tackle, and that puts Frank down.
Yeah, Eddie definitely saw that and took advantage. That was a huge kill. We also saw a score in the background from Katie. She must have been listening and said, oh no, we're not having 0 scores, so there you go. So Hufflepuff currently up by 10 points. Let's see if Ravenclaw can match that. Normally they come back with an answer.
Mitchie's back to low again. 2 HP, but starting to regen. That turbo really does go crazy. And Edirani, see, that's a good time to be hitting a beater. Your Seeker's low, hitting regen. You see the beater summoning their Bludger. You can be throwing one, you can be on intercept, but he was a little far for intercept. That was a very optimal play.
Yeah, and he gets down decent there. Big tackle, it looks like, as well. We just saw Frank's meter drop. Eddie wants to end it here, so we've confirmed Ravenclaw is up 2-1. So yeah, if they win this game, it's over. I know the chat certainly wants a game 5. I do, unbiasedly. It's been awesome Quidditch action today. I think Frank's got a bit of a lead. Yep, definitely now with the tackle by Decent, but Odarina getting Ravenclaw on the board, 10-10.
It'll be interesting to see how this hero plays out here, though. They'll be going for the catch, but it does look like the snitch is leaving just in time, so that might be a reserve, so something to watch out for the chasers.
I gotta say, as a beater, you know, Cav is annoying for them to be able to, you know, run with crazy boost efficiency, but Turbo is so frustrating to see. You get them down to red, and in like 2 seconds, they're all the way back up in the green. We do see a few tackles, few bumps. Mitchie's getting pushed off pretty heavy, giving Frank a fairly substantial lead going into these last few moments, and another hit on Mitchie.
Yeah,
and
another score by Oof.
Too. So he's flying into a friendly hero, whereas Mitchie's going to have to do her best to avoid this if they've still got it. It doesn't look like they do, so it might have been an early kick.
But she does get
Yeah, you almost want to break off
low.
and go chaser game here if you're Ravenclaw. Or do you keep
I
up
agree
the
with
pressure on Frank? Right, it's he's got pretty close to catch. And yeah, see if they had, that was a massive goal they could have tried to prevent there.
That was a post lunge bump by Mitchie. She got the bump, but he was already in the catch animation. That is unfortunate. We are talking frames, and that might have been the catch there with that bump steal. See, that's an early dodge by Mitchie. Wait, we're looking to get Decent. They're kind of the same idea, though. Dodge it, not really anything, and then getting bludgered is...
Yeah, we talk about the Seeker's tendencies to dodge. Some beaters have that tendency. Certainly ADHD, since one of them, right? From our experience playing him in Q6, you know, certainly he can get locked in and be really offensive. But as a beater, if you just sit there, hold Bludger, wait for those dodges, you can capitalize. Now he has had a really good tournament. So has Eddie. Someone, yeah, wow.
Did we miss Frank going down?
Frank certainly went down there.
Wow, very early on. You know, one thing I'm not seeing enough of? I'm not seeing a whole lot of spawn camping by these beaters. We're getting these kills and we're not stealing that extra 5%. Oh,
Jim, go over to Slytherin. You are almost as evil as Time Twister. You guys should not be Ravenclaw.
oh, and Mitchie getting. Ooh, Mitchie's quite low. She just needs to make sure she doesn't waste a dodge here, and she'll. Oh, it turns back in, and Eddie with the kill just after she goes down.
And now I know there will be some seekers in queue watching this thinking, if you were using focus cam, you would have seen exactly where he was. And that's the game-long argument, isn't it? Is
But it looks
do you
like
use
Frank
focus
went
cam?
down
Do you
too.
not?
There's
Yeah, I mean,
caster booth too.
they've both been trading. Yeah, it's do I use focus cam? Do I not? What do I rely on? I'm not going to get too much into that debate because I'm not a seeker, but I'm sure you guys can battle it out in the comments.
It was decent the kill. Oof with another score right after though.
Oh,
Massive
this
save
might come
there
down to
and kill by
Chaser game
Skipper.
here. With 23
That's what
seconds,
I'm
I
saying.
don't think that Snitch is getting caught. This is going to be a Chaser game.
Yeah, Oof has had a few just clutch scores. His turn in the spotlight here, commentator
And
blessing. Finally,
That may
6-10,
be
and
game.
Ravenclaw just wins the Common Room Classic. What a match.
Thank you to everyone who joined us at Durmstrang today.
Indeed.
Even those of you who rooted
We were not expecting that. We were so caught up in the beater and seeker play there. Ravenclaw just kept putting in those silent goals. Yes, they were causing heroes, but I mean, sometimes you score, you win.
Beaters for sure putting in work there to get down to a one catch game. Isn't super common, but you know they were vigilant. You know they were seeing the burn dodges. I know you saw mostly Mitchie there, but I mean we saw Front go down at least twice in that second snitch. We didn't get to see why, but I mean like we said, they're both pretty dodge heavy. It could be that, it could be just the tackles, setting up good angles, but well done by both beaters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great games.
Great battle by the beaters, by the seekers. It was a pleasure watching Mitchie and Franco at it all day. Eddie and Decent cooking. Some big wins by both Slytherin and Gryffindor in this series. So just really cool to see all the houses kind of getting involved. Ravenclaw getting back in the win column here, winning a competitive tournament, the Common Room Classic. We did see them win Season 9 of Black Lake. As we already mentioned, Slytherin just won Season 11, and basically Season 10 for that matter, although it was joint. Slytherin carried. Gryffindor, we won Season 8 of Black Lake. We, of course, won the first ever competitive Founders Cup, the Tournament of Houses. And then Hufflepuff obviously getting the biggest win, in my opinion, the All-Stars tournament, which we're certainly going to be back with. All-Stars will be back, so everyone who is a little bit bummed out they didn't get to play in this tournament, don't worry, your time will come on the big stage. This one was about balanced teams, was about giving others a shot. We saw a lot of players step up here with that given opportunity, which was just awesome to see, I think. Awesome, great Quidditch overall, and well played by all teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got to see some people shine today that we perhaps don't get to see all that often. I mean, Oof really was the deciding factor in that last game there. Just went out and just put his all in and got some amazing scores and obviously tied the game up at the end. We've seen so many Seeker eliminations today, I couldn't even try and rattle a number off the top of my head. And I will say, I've been here either a staff or a player for, I think, every single one of these tournaments, actually. And I think today was definitely the best one that I've been able to take part of and be around for. Everybody was so lovely. We had no issues. Few restarts needed because of crazy ping, but what else would we expect from Quidditch? But everybody has just put their best foot forward and just played their best game. So a massive thank you to everyone who's taken their time to play today, to Captain, and of course to the staff here for streaming. So thank you to you guys as well for putting this on for everybody in the community.
Yeah, I mean, special shout out for Cicerus, our first time producer here, coming in behind the scenes. Like, that was flawless, going from game to game, catching, maybe we missed the start, but it was just like nonstop action. Time Twister, I know you appreciate that as a fellow producer as well. So awesome work behind the scenes. J Dog, of course, J Dogging, owner of Black Lake and doing a lot of work with the bracket and managing the tournament. And of course, Warbeard as well. So with the rest of the staff, Crafty, obviously Groovy yourself, really want to thank all you guys for the efforts today. As Thomas says in chat, go solo queue everyone and keep the good Quidditch going.